All right,
Chat
there
bot.
we go. There we are. But yeah. The all the old ways of social queuing, they don't work online.
Yeah.
Particularly when you want to find people, and because even the ones where you could theoretically do that, they're all algorithmically fucked with.
Yeah.
So you can't
Yeah.
really. It's really hard to communicate with people. Plus, you have all this bot bullying that makes that
Yeah.
tamps people down. You didn't used to have that outside of high school. Yeah, that
No.
didn't used to exist. You know.
I actually, there was a sound that was going around on TikTok for a while, and just some of the younger folks trying to bully people on the internet. It's like, oh no, honey, I was bullied in person. You literally cannot
Yeah.
hurt
You
me.
you cannot hurt
I,
me.
I don't, I don't know what you're trying to do here. But not
Yeah.
only
What are
was
you
I
gonna do? Come to
bullied
my
in
house? Come to my house
person,
with a gun and shoot me? That was always a
yeah,
possibility.
but I was on 4chan. Like, don't,
Right. Right.
like, I have been through the like the real life and the internet trenches. Like, you cannot hurt me. Kind of thing. Man, I got some juice today because I already had a Dr. Pepper, so I don't think I need
Oh,
another one for caffeine. Yeah, well, Dr.
I
Pepper Zero
I
specifically.
am so like addicted to caffeine. I'm having coffee right now.
I'm not addicted to it. I just like it. I like the taste of coffee. Um,
I no, I'm
I'm
addicted
French.
to
What do you expect?
I'm addicted to it because
You're addicted to it?
I like the feeling of my brain working
Mm,
at a high fucking level. I get very uncomfortable when it isn't. That's why me and
yeah,
pot don't always get along. You know,
that's fair.
because my thinking gets slowed. All of a sudden, I'm like, oh, I'm in danger. You know,
Yeah, no, gotcha. That's definitely the ADHD.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
what was it? Hyper vigilant. You know,
Hi, K Witch.
hey, Cave Witch, hey, Neo Geo, what's up?
Yeah,
Tonight
yeah.
we have Valdriant on the stream, and we're gonna be chatting
I
about
would
whatever.
with my
Although,
fucking juice.
man, for the last couple of days, I've been on a journey of self exploration
Oh,
through. I do this a lot where, like, I'll get something
yeah,
stuck in my head and I'll be like, okay, what do I need to figure out about this to get it unstuck from my head? Because there's a reason that, like, I'm focused on it.
yeah.
There's some sort of
You
discovery I need to make.
hyperfixate, right? Right. That's neurospicy.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
hyperfixate. Yeah.
Yeah. And for the last several days, it has been Joe Rogan and his style of comedy and his like comedy bros. That my
That's unfortunate.
yeah. No, it's not fun. It's not
I understand,
fun.
but from a like that, from an anthropological point
Yeah,
of view, I understand.
right,
I
exactly.
also have weird obsessions with things like the Westboro Baptist Church, like and kind of thing,
Yeah.
right?
But
Yeah,
I was just observing them and going like, why am I doing this? Like, there's
yeah,
obviously a reason, and it couldn't just be because they were unfunny. I was like, yeah,
yeah,
they're not funny. That's
yeah.
that's
They're
that's
not.
a big problem. The other big problem is that their humor is basically all it's all bullying, which is another thing I don't
Yeah,
like.
yeah.
They also
Punching down.
love to say that free speech is all about whether or not you could say fag and retard and
Yeah,
make fun of trans people. And I'm like, and those are all things I don't like.
yeah. Exactly.
But I knew there was something deeper that was bothering
Hmm.
me. Something deeper was bothering me. Finally figured it out,
Okay,
which
found it.
was
Let's go.
their comedy is not the edge. And if it is not the
Mm-hmm.
edge, I am bored by it.
Mm-hmm.
Because what are you telling me that I haven't already heard? And they all worship Bill Hicks, but Bill Hicks would have had nothing to do with them because they have a jock's understanding of Bill Hicks. They
I
don't
don't even
understand
know who
any
Bill
of
Hicks
the.
is. I'm
Oh, he
sorry.
was a really great
Yeah.
comedian from the '90s.
Okay.
You know, like he's one of those guys where even though you don't know him, he created 90s comedy.
Gotcha.
He's one of those
so right
type
up
of
there
guys.
with Carlin.
Way up there with Carlin. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah, it just was never as famous.
Gotcha.
He died a little too young.
As all the great ones do.
As a lot of the great ones do, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, Carlin was stuck in there for decades, but like,
yeah,
you know, he was unusually long-lived. But anyway, I realized, oh, they all want to be Bill Hicks, but they don't have what Bill Hicks had. They didn't have his understanding. Bill Hicks had a greater than high school level understanding of things like philosophy and psychology, whereas these guys don't.
No,
these guys don't
There's
even
no
have a
critical
high
think-
school grasp.
There's no critical think. Like
Yeah.
I like, because I like, you know, I'm just gonna. I've watched and listened to the podcast before, mostly because there are some times that he, especially before, like when he quote unquote he was one of us.
Yeah.
He did a couple of interviews that interested me. One was Michelle Phelps Roper when she left the Westboro Baptist Church.
Right.
Her book came out, and I wanted, and also Leah Remini, who left Scientology, because I have a hyperfixation on cults and people leaving them, right?
Right.
So it's like, oh, like I want to. It wasn't like I want to listen to Joe Rogan. It's like I want to listen to what these people have to say, and this is a platform that they're talking about it.
Right.
Sort of thing. And until the fucking anti-vax shit and the ivermectin shit, like I didn't have that much of a problem with them. But like when you start spreading misinformation, like that's when it's a fucking problem for me, right?
Yeah, and he refuses to.
The thing is, he's a grifter. Like that's.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah, he's a grifter.
Yeah, he's a grifter.
Hi, Ryle.
He's a grifter, and he's not even particularly that smart of one. He just got lucky.
No, he's definitely not. He's not smart at all.
Yeah.
You look at it, he's like, there's literal physical evidence on a screen for him. And he, like, people will be like, he'll ask people to bring up, like, the proof, and, like, his producers bring up the proof, and he, like, still fucking doesn't, like, legitimately, like, no critical thinking skills, no epistemology skills or any of that stuff, right?
Yeah, and I realized, okay, you don't have to be on the edge for me to watch you as a comedian, but at that point, you have to be funny.
Yeah.
And Bill Hicks was both insightful and funny. So he was a 1-2 punch. Like Carlin, he had the 1-2 punch. He was a double threat. Yeah. But Rogan isn't that funny, and he's not insightful. And so I realized, once he stopped having interesting people around doing interesting things, there was no reason for me to care. And that's why I look at comedy now and I'm like, wow, this is a pile of shit. And I needed to know why I thought it was a pile of shit. And there it was. I was like, oh, here's a bunch of guys. They all worship the same God that I do, being Bill Hicks. But they don't have any understanding of him or what he was doing. None whatsoever. They just know that they want to say the R word. And I'm just sort of like, oh, we're fighting for free speech. You're a bunch of idiots.
Yeah.
You're a bunch of idiots.
Again, like, I kind of want to bring it around to one of my favorite movies, like top 5 favorite movies of all time, is Tropic Thunder, right?
Yeah.
Because Tropic Thunder was not, there's people look at it as like, wow, this is problematic as fuck, and I was like, yeah, that's kind of the point. Like they're literally pointing out problems
It was
that are in Hollywood, and this is 2008, okay?
Yeah, it was the blazing saddles of its decade.
Yes, absolutely. I say that all the time. It is the blazing saddles, and the thing is, it's just like, if you have any amount of like critical thinking skills when it comes to satire, like it's the thing that got to me the most about that movie was that it made it all the way to the fucking Oscars.
I know, right?
Still, and the thing is like that wasn't on purpose. Like that wasn't part of the joke.
No.
But everybody else was like, the irony of it all was like, are you kidding me here?
Yeah. It was very funny.
The irony of it all. It's what, like, it's definitely one of those ones that um but yeah, no.
Well,
But
they
that's like
didn't.
an
Also, a
example of
lot
when
of
you
people
can
didn't
use problematic
understand. They
language.
didn't understand
Yeah.
that there's multiple. There's so many levels to the "you never go full retard" scene.
Yeah.
You know,
Oh
but the
yeah, no, like,
primary, the primary one was the fact that Hollywood has its own version of what is acceptable to be retarded, of how you
yeah,
are acceptably
or
retarded.
like autism
Yeah,
or any of that kind of stuff,
yeah,
right?
yeah. Rain Man,
Um
autistic, not retarded.
yeah,
You know.
yeah, exactly. And the thing is that, like, I use that as an example of when, like, like, you can't properly critique the problematic language if you don't use it situation, and that's when
Yeah.
that's like one of those things. I don't personally ever use that word. Sometimes on myself, because as an autistic person, I should be allowed to call myself that at least once a day. Like, when I do something wrong, like, I'm just taking back the word, bro.
Yeah. Have I ever seen
But
Ralph
like,
Bakshi's Coonskin?
yeah,
Yeah, I have. That's another great example. Like Coonskin's
yeah,
interesting because that is a like the Boondocks, it is a look at racism uh from black people.
yes,
You know, like from their perspective. Like usually we're looking at racism from like white people's perspective in films. Coonskin did it differently. Coonskin said like, no, let's look at racism from the black perspective. You know, what do they
yeah,
see? What do they know? Like what's going on? You know, I mean, the movie starts with the song Nigger Man for a reason. You know, with Scatman Crothers singing Nigger Man.
okay,
You
yeah.
know, you're just like, oh,
Sorry, I need a second. I'm
yeah.
not used to, sorry, Jack, sorry, I need a second. Like,
Yeah.
just hearing that and with need a minute. Like,
Hard R and everything, you know? Like
yeah,
he is using the word, you know?
yeah,
And yeah, it's a song all about being black, you
yeah.
know.
And the thing is, it's written by by people of color in their own reclamation of their
Yeah,
slurs,
you can
right?
tell that
And
that's what's
I
really coming
always believe
from.
people are allowed to reclaim slurs. I reclaim my own slurs against my ethnic groups, so
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't let other people say them.
Yeah,
Like,
but it's
I
it's
call them out 100%.
yeah, but I think a lot of people don't
Yeah,
get the fact that Coonskin is actually fantastically and 100% anti-racist.
yeah,
You know, it's not pro-racist at all. You know, it is specifically there to poke holes in racism.
yeah, no,
Um
100%. I don't think I've ever seen that one.
it's a good movie. It's long
Yeah.
and a little slow, you
Hmm.
know, but the whole idea is that it's this old guy talking to a young guy who is trying to escape from prison, telling him the story of Brer Rabbit, Brother Bear, and Brother Fox as if
Hmm.
as if it was an urban fairy tale.
Yeah.
You know, it's really good that way.
Which is direct commentary on the Song of the South, right?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Oh
yeah,
yes.
yeah,
Absolutely. You know,
yeah,
like you could tell. You could tell that that was one of the things in their crosshairs was Song of the South. You know, because one of the things that I think is insulting about Song of the South is that
everything.
yeah, so much is insulting about it.
Yeah.
Which is just basically this overall. Well, the South's not that bad, is it? And I'm like, dude, dude, dude. If you wanted to do a
Uh,
story where the South wasn't that bad, they did eventually make that movie. It was called Princess and the Frog.
yeah.
You
And
know,
like, they did it, and they did it in a digestible way, but at the same time, the Princess and the Frog also still had a white savior, um commentary in there too,
Oh
right?
yeah, yeah,
Because
yeah,
you
yeah.
know, with her friend and her dad and things like that, like that still existed. Um, so like I so on top of the princess, like hi from Louisiana.
Hmm.
I liked the Princess and the Frog for the most part. I thought it did a
Yeah, me too.
decent job um portraying sort of like the different levels of cultures that are
Hmm.
in the area. Like that being said, the Firefly Cajun accent was not good. Like,
Yeah,
I was like,
that was
oh
you could
my
tell
god!
you
And
could tell Jim
listen,
Cummings ain't Cajun, you know.
he did like he did better than most people, but like it was like as you know, and as I'm gonna talk about it, my own accent is gonna come out because that's just
Right,
how it
that's how
be.
that works. Yeah.
That's how that works. And like, don't get me wrong, there are different types of accents depending on where you like. My accent is gonna be slightly different from a person that's like an hour down the street from my parents' house, right? Where I grew up, they're gonna be a little bit uh my daddy likes to call them the deep water Cajuns because
Mm.
you go out in the marsh on the shrimp boats. I don't understand a single fucking word those people saying.
That's
Like,
what I like to.
I don't.
I always refer to it as fan boat country.
Bambo country. That's about
Yeah,
right. I like. I think we talked about it this last
we
time.
did. We did.
Yeah, where I was on a fan boat and excuse me, went bow fishing.
Yes.
Yep, in Grand Isle. That was a good time. And yeah, no, I yeah. And the thing is that I also you also can't like you know is the rest of the South that bad? Like you know, there's a lot of nuance to being Southern and living in the South and being white passing in the South or being a person of color in the South, sort
Hmm.
of thing. Um, and on top of that, there are different regions. Like you can't expect like Acadiana to be the same as Texas or Mississippi or like you know we're different places.
Right.
Louisiana is
Right.
gonna be a different place because we're all fucking mixed race there.
Yeah,
Like
I have this very like I have
Maddie's
this
like, I
very
like how our hair
mean
matches.
fucking like I have a very mean opinion of Texas. You know, in particular, which is not the same as my impression of like Louisiana. You know, my
Yeah,
impression of Texas is, yeah, keep wishing you
I
were California. Keep wishing. Maybe it'll
keep
happen
wishing
one
you're a Cal.
day.
Here's the thing, like lots of Californians just moved to Texas.
Yeah,
Like,
but
and
they
that's
were all
like the
people that
thing.
moved. But here's the funny thing: most of them were
Yeah.
people who moved from Texas to California.
Oh, really? Like, I
Yeah,
don't know about that.
yeah, no, no,
Like,
no,
cause
no. It was. If you,
I
if
live. Yeah. Well, I mean, like I lived in Austin, so there was a whole bunch of tech like Silicon Valley transplants in
yeah,
Austin because of Google and Tesla and all
yep,
that other kind of stuff. So lots of the tech bros moved out there, and but they were all Californians. That and we hated
oh
California.
yeah, no, I don't blame you. I don't blame
Like,
you. Like, let me put it this
cause
way: the Texans
yeah,
that came to California for the same reason, no, we hated them
hmm
too. You
no,
know,
that's fair. Here's the thing, I love Texans. Like I love Left Texas. Let me throw it out there. I love Left Texas, which is the Texas that I lived in. It's blue state Texas. The blue parts of Texas are phenomenal places, right? And you know, and then you get out into hill country, and you're like, Texas.
well, for me, it comes down. For me, it comes down to
Yeah,
this: having experienced California in all of its glory. You know, in its including the parts I don't like. Like we do have rural conservative areas that are just pro Trump to the hilt,
yeah,
to the fucking hilt. But like, whenever someone tries to compare another city to San Francisco or Los Angeles, I'm like, no,
yeah.
no. That I can tell right now you've never been there because
Um,
some of those places are different. New York used to have that same not the same style, but it used to have its own identity,
yeah.
which it has been losing. It has lost it just as bad as some of the other places. It's lost it as bad as San Francisco lost it, but LA still got it, which is bizarre to me. I'm like, how do you guys keep this going? And it seems to just be that a lot of artists are attracted to LA. And so that's
Yeah,
where they all are.
yeah.
They're all there. And I've had people try to tell me, like, well, there's a great artist community in uh, Portland. And I'm like, yeah, but it ain't like the one in LA, man. The one in LA is
No,
huge. It's
yeah.
huge.
I'm living poorly.
It's gigantic. You know, you probably like in Portland, you probably got like a dozen people holding that whole thing together. Like in LA, like fucking when someone drops off the scene, someone picks that thing right back up.
Yeah,
There are thousands. It's nuts. I find it very funny that despite the fact that LA is so much about money and shit like that, that's been able to hold on to it. But I think that has to do with the fact that in Hollywood, tech only matters as far as it is entertaining.
yeah,
You know,
yeah.
the 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 tech industry as we know it, I think is a blight. It didn't used to be, but now it is.
Yeah,
You know,
that's fair.
And you could definitely. It's easy to say. It's easy to say because it's part of history. That the two places where tech was strongest was in Texas and California.
Yes.
Definitely. Like I forget where Texas Instruments was located, but like you
It's
can't.
probably Austin.
Yeah,
Austin
I think it
is
was like
yeah.
it was like Austin
Yeah,
or
if you
Houston or something.
Houston's big industry is like fossil fuels, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um, by the way, Houston is an underrated town. I'm just gonna throw it out there. I think Houston's a great town. It has a huge like as far as like the art scene, like the local art scene and like queer community in Houston is phenomenal. Obviously the sports is great if you're into sports.
Yeah, I'm not.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just saying, like most of the anime conventions that I went to in my youth were in Houston. Um, but like the food scene in Houston is phenomenal because it's one of the most like diverse. It is the most diverse city I think in the country. So the food scene is really good. Um, I put it up there with New York, and New Orleans as far as the food scene
Oh,
goes.
I don't know about.
Um,
I don't know if I would put it as good as New Orleans.
Oh, Viet Cajun out of Houston is great.
Really?
Like,
Okay.
yeah. So
Okay.
Viet Cajun there is like a subset of people in the Gulf of Vietnamese people
Yeah.
that integrated into Cajun culture, and so there's a fusion of um, the two cuisines, and they do it a lot out in Houston.
Malcedon says that Texas Instruments was located in Dallas.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Real quick, somebody, I think it was Royal, just asked me a question. Um, would I happen to know the major First Nations in Louisiana? Yes, because I'm from them. There's the Adai Caddo, or the Caddo people, which are like, you can just look at the names of the parishes, and that is actually the names of the First Nations there. In my hometown, the res was the Tunica Biloxi, which also incorporated the Avoyal people. There's the Chitimacha, there's the Kashada. We all have casinos, by the way. The federal ones do. There's still some state nations that are still working on their federal recognition because some of them, God forbid, like don't have the right to their fucking land. But the major ones I would say are Tuna Biloxi, Kashada, and the Caddo. There's also the Natchez, the Natchitoches. Like I said, if you look at the Wichita, if you look at a map of Louisiana, look at the parishes, and it's not French or English, and it's a name you cannot pronounce, that is a First Nations that is from there.
Oh, okay.
Sort of thing. Uh, because because of where Louisiana is located, their populations were not trailed of teeter to Oklahoma, because most of them were already on the quote unquote the side of the Mississippi that Jackson was sending people, so they did not get yeeted. So Louisiana has a considerable. Oh, there's the Gina Ben Choctaw as well. Um,
Yeah, it
yeah,
is something that's primarily American. Yeah.
it's in Canada too. They have First Nations here, First Nations casinos here in Canada as well.
Yeah.
But and the other thing to think about is a lot of Cajun people that come from Acadia. Also, about 30% of Cajuns can trace their heritage back to the First Nations of Canada as well.
Oh, interesting.
I have both Ottawa and McMillan as well from Canada. So, like, I have a turn in wingspan. Sorry.
I'm not sure what a metis group is.
A what?
I'm not sure what our Riles, like I asked because if you guys have a distinct metis group there, and I'm like, I actually don't know what the metis is. I don't know what that means.
Oh, the Métis. We don't. Okay, Métis. That's what. So the Métis, the Métis are in Canada, is an ethnic group of French and First Nations people that's sort of combined. Yes.
Oh, okay.
We have our version of that. We call it Creole.
Yeah. Okay.
And in fact, the first French. I am a descendant from the first, quote unquote, marriage of a Frenchman and an indigenous girl, and thus the first Creoles of Louisiana. She's got a Wikipedia page and everything. Her name is Anne of the Caddo. We don't know who her real name was. She got married, quote unquote, at 16 to the guy who ran the fort. And she had 2 kids, and I am descendant from her firstborn son that she had out of wedlock. She was a slave, and she learned how to speak French, and that's how she got married.
Yeah,
So,
one thing you gotta understand about the Creole is they have a reputation, and part of that reputation is voodoo. You know,
the New Orleans ones do.
Yeah, the New Orleans Creole, got a
Creoles
connection
too.
with the voodoo.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which I've always been, voodoo fascinates me. I'm so fascinated.
Voodoo is fascinating because, again, it's like the combination of African indigenous religions with Catholicism, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's one of the things where, like, when people are like, oh, so the Oloa are like the Orishas, and I'm like, they are very they are different. Like, for one, voodoo does focus a lot on Baron Samedi, the Gide, the spirits of the dead, whereas the Orishas are much more, the Orisha worshippers of West Africa are much more like, it's not all happiness and light, but, like, they like the sun and the water and, like, the hope of the community and all that kind of stuff. Whereas voodoo is considered, like, sinister. Even among its practitioners, it's considered a little sinister.
Yeah.
What's the difference in Creole, Cajun? Ooh.
Oh my God. All right. So, short answer is that all Cajuns are Creole, but not all Creoles are Cajun. To be Creole, it's just to be a francophone person of the continent of like, very specifically Louisiana Creole. There's other types of Creoles, like there's Haitian Creoles, things like that. Creoles are a multiracial ethnic group in Louisiana. Like, the only requirement is that you have to, your family had to have been in Louisiana before it was a state. To be a francophone person in family in Louisiana before it was a state. To be Cajun, You are a descendant from the Acadians, which were colonists from France to what is now Nova Scotia in Canada. And during the 1700s, that group of people, because they did not bow to the British Crown during it was the Hundred Years' War, the French and Indian War, they were essentially um, Trail the Cheers out of Canada because they were French and Indian during the French and Indian War, kind of thing. And so they kind of got spread out. Some of them went back to France and then had to leave France because culturally they've been out of France for 200 years and we're just different types of people. So they ended up in Louisiana. There's a good population of them in Maine. They're Acadians, not Cajuns. To be Cajuns, you had to end up in Louisiana and thus mix with the Creole cultures and the slave cultures and the indigenous cultures down there. But that's the thing. All Cajuns are Creole, but not all Creoles are Cajuns.
Yeah. There's also another good way to think about it is, well, I don't know about a good way, but the way the cultural assumptions work.
Yeah.
We'll put it that way. The cultural assumptions work is that the Cajuns are they're a little more country.
Yeah, we are a little bit more country.
Yeah, whereas the rest of the Creole are considered a little more urban.
Yeah. But there are Creoles that are out that are completely, because I'm Creole as well. In fact, I'm more Creole than I am Cajun, but it is, I'm both.
Well, it also depends on like where you were brought up.
Yeah. It's all just I mean, like, and then New Orleans Creole is going to be a whole different level than the rest of the Creoles from Louisiana as well.
Yeah.
New Orleans Creole is where, most people associate Creole with being mulatto.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that is like, if you're mulatto in Louisiana, you're most likely Creole. If you're mixed race, you're most likely Creole. But you don't have to have Black or Indigenous ancestors to be Creole in Louisiana because, again, it is a multi-racial ethnic group.
Yeah. But you do have to be part of one of those groups in which that happened.
Yeah, you have to be. Yeah, the biggest like cultural requirement is like, was your family in Louisiana before it was a state? Essentially, are you a francophone person?
Yeah, is French part of the language? Yeah.
Yeah. There's also Spanish culture as well. Like there's Spanish Creoles as well in Louisiana. That are
yeah. There's also, well, it's funny because that's where that is where voodoo and Santeria become a thing and kind of have that split.
Sorry, what was that I was reading?
Oh, I was saying Louisiana's that's also where the Spanish influence is also where Santeria comes from.
Yes.
Santeria is very, very, very. Santeria and voodoo have the same roots. And in many ways they have the same gods, same great spirits. They're just called different things. Mm-hmm. But they're very, 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 very alike. But one has got more of a Spanish thing going on, and the other has got more of a Haiti thing going on.
Yeah.
But given the history of Haiti and the Dominican Republic and all that, they're all going to come from the same people.
Also, a lot of people after the Haitian Revolution, there are a lot of people in New Orleans that are Haitian Creoles as well.
Yeah. Someone said Orisha seem more life-giving, the Loas seem more death-focused. I would say that Orisha worship is more life-giving, whereas voodoo specifically is a little more death-focused. It's a little more sinister. Like, the voodoo have the concept of the different rites, but what a lot of people don't realize is that they are not separate churches. They are literally different rituals. It's like, are you doing something nice or something nasty? You know,
Which
and
is actually shown in The Princess and the Frog.
in The Princess and the Frog, it's absolutely fucking shown.
Yeah. It's
Yeah,
actually
yeah.
like that dichotomy was actually shown in The Princess and the Frog.
Yeah, because Mama Odie is would be Radha. She's uses the Radha right, whereas Dr. Facilier would be the Petro rights.
Yeah.
You know, he deals with the dark force.
Like, I don't know if you actually know this, but Marie Laveau was actually like also a devout Catholic.
Oh, yeah.
On top of being like the most, like, when people would come to her at like for rituals and rites and things like that, she would actually be like, okay, now you need to go to mass, bro.
Mhm.
Like, because, and you know, that's just like how ingrained Catholicism is. It perpetuates all of Louisiana culture.
Yeah. It's kind of funny. Like the Catholicism is sort of the public facing.
Yeah.
Is the public facing part of it.
Yeah.
The Rada rites are kind of the good face of the more questionable aspects, and the Petra is like that's like, ooh, that's black magic, you know, like that's the sinister path. But the part of the thing is that if you are a practitioner of voodoo, you do both, but which one you have your focus in is considered which one you're considered a part of.
Yeah.
You know, it's like there was a great illustration of this in Midnight in the Garden of Good and Evil.
Mm-hmm.
You know, which is basically the old woman, you know, the old mambo going like, oh, half hour before midnight for doing good. You need to leave after midnight. That's for doing evil. You know, and it was a good demonstration of like, no, they do both. I will say one thing. When you walk into the back, you can always... One of the things I love about Louisiana voodoo is there's a lot of pageantry surrounding
because
it.
It's part of the tourism. Too,
it is.
Right?
It is.
Yeah, it's 100%. It's, you know, it's the same thing with vampires as part of the tourism in Louisiana, in New Orleans. Like,
yes. Yeah, and they kind of go together. They go together.
Yeah, and they do. They 100% go together. Like ghost stories and all of that. It's all part of the. It's all part of like this diosphere, right?
Yeah. And so many people were like, well, how do you know you're in a real voodoo shop? And I'm like, you don't know until you know, because
you don't know until
you don't know until you know, because it can be the most touristy. Like, I went to the most touristy fucking one, right?
The one on Bourbon Street.
The one on Bourbon Street. Yeah, I went right in that voodoo shop, and I was like, okay, I'm seeing like, you know, like, it's cool. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But I wonder how real this place is. So I snuck in the back, where I clearly was not supposed to be.
Got Marie Laveau's fucking altar. Like, what are you doing?
Well, here's what I saw. Old black guy sitting there with a cane next to a cage that had a white snake, giant, big white snake in it.
You know, they probably put that there for people who snuck in the back.
I guarantee it. But I found myself going like, all right.
Let's be honest here.
Yeah.
They did that on purpose.
Yeah.
For people like you, Jack.
Yes.
To cross boundaries and go where you're not supposed to go.
Where I'm not supposed to go. But at that same point, I was like, oh, this is the real show here. This is the real show. You know?
I do also want to tell Cave Witch that there were vampires in New Orleans before Anne Rice. Where do you think she got the fucking... She's from there. Like vampires in New Orleans is older than Anne Rice were.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Yeah. But
also, you know who has a big vampire, like a huge, like also like vampire population apparently is like Cleveland, Ohio.
Yes.
Yes. I was like, what?
Same thing. Any really like rundown urban area in the Midwest gonna have a lot of vampire legends.
Yeah.
You know, it's funny because in San Francisco there are no vampire legends. There are a lot of ghost legends, but there are a lot of legends of black magic, but not vampires.
Not vampires, which
Yeah.
is interesting because I actually read a book that was a vampire book that took place in San Francisco.
Was it Love Bites?
It was called no, it's called Vampire Weekend, and it's actually it was more of a it was definitely more of like a cozy, not cozy, but like a slice of life, like how are vampires just kind of existing in the world sort of space. Um, but it was about like someone who's like a fairly new vampire and synthetic blood and things like that, and, you know, the cultural shift. But it was a pretty good one. Like
yeah, there are a lot of vampire stories set in San Francisco, and there was a big vampire scene in San Francisco, you know, but as far as actual like legends are concerned, not so much, you know, which I always thought was interesting. Well, like we had a huge vampire LARP community out here for
when I heard ages. When you said scene, I was thinking movie scene, and I was like, oh yeah, Interview with the Vampire, the whole bar scene.
No. I meant like people who gathered for the vampire stuff. You know, there are vampire legends in the Pacific Northwest. Yeah, you'll find more vampire legends in Seattle than you will in San Francisco, strangely enough.
Really?
Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely.
That's fair. I guess I can.
Yeah. Also, Seattle. The thing I love about Seattle is the town's fucking old timiness is completely fake.
Oh yeah,
it's completely fake.
Yeah, it's 100%.
Yeah,
because it's one of the newer cities.
It's one of the newest cities, actually.
Yeah.
You know, like,
but some of the smaller cities like around it aren't.
Oh no.
Yeah,
no,
like Mount Vernon is like I would say Bellingham is more authentic to its age than Seattle is.
Yeah. Seattle like tries to pretend it's a much older city. It's not. It's only
than what it is.
Yeah. It's only a couple.
Whereas like Portland is actually a much older city.
It is.
Seattle.
Portland's much older. You know, San Francisco is much older. You know, Los Angeles is much older.
Because like when you think about it, like geographically, before the 49th parallel was probably drawn, most things were probably just coming up to Vancouver.
Yes.
Which Vancouver is a fairly old city.
Yeah.
On the West Coast. It's about the same as like San Francisco.
In fact, San Francisco and Vancouver were Seattle's big rivals as far as being a port town were concerned.
Yes.
You know.
But once that 49th parallel is drawn, like now you need like a port town that far north. And Seattle, with its location in the Bay, was probably, or the Sound, was probably the better option than like, because Bellingham would have been too close to Canada. You know, we already have Portland and Vancouver, Washington.
Yeah, and Puget Sound is relatively calm.
Yes, it is.
So like once you're inside of the Sound, you know it's like okay, smooth sailing. We're just gonna cruise right in.
Yeah, it's fairly calm. I was in the Sound the other. When I was actually in Seattle last week, we took a ferry because my friends were on the peninsula. We ferried to Seattle so I can catch the Amtrak to go back up. It was a really pretty day. I saw both the mountains. Rainier was out, the mountain was out, Baker was out. I was like, oh, there's the fucking volcanoes. Which, by the way, when I lived in Seattle, because I moved in the winter, like I moved like December 1st, I was in Seattle. So I didn't see the mountain at first. And I'm from below sea level. Like Louisiana has no mountains. And I'd seen mountains
swamp and bayou.
Swamp and bayous. And prairies. But when I saw Rainier for the first time driving, I was like,
oh, Mount Rainier?
What the fuck is that? Yeah, I was like, what the fuck is that?
That is a mountain.
I was like, and then, you know, I know it's an active volcano. Like, I know it is. And then, so, like, it all just occurs to me. I was like, oh, I'm fucked. I have to go. Like, there was, like, my initial little swamp creature. Now I've been up here since, like, 2016, right? Like, well, actually, this November, because I moved from Austin to Seattle on my 30th birthday. Like I left Texas on my 30th birthday, um and so it'll be a decade that I've been in the Pacific Northwest this November.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like in oh God, what's a series of mountains that is up here in Northern California?
Like yours or
Yeah, I
mine?
think it's Sierra Nevada.
Okay, because we're the Cascades,
Yeah, I think ours is, I
which
believe,
does
the
go
Sierra
all the way to
Nevadas.
California because Shasta is the southernmost volcano.
Yes, yeah, it
Yeah, in
contains
the
Mount Shasta
Cascades. Yeah,
and one of and Mount Diablo. One of the things that always strikes me whenever I go through that area, drive through that area, is that area of the Sierra Nevadas that is by the road that you can see. It looks blasted.
yeah,
Like there's like almost nothing growing there. There's just like rock formations. And you're just like,
yeah.
oh God. Like, and I
Where they
think
dumped all the
like
radioactive material.
yeah, I think that's one of the reasons why,
Yeah.
like,
But also geographically, there's also not like because it's like a desert, because
yeah,
it's a huge mountain range. Like it's hello, my son. Um, it's the cat. It's just like geographically, the Sierra Nevada doesn't
yeah.
like.
It's
Yeah,
the part of California that like starts to connect into Nevada, and so
yeah,
there's not a lot of moisture.
yeah,
And when you see that, you're just like, oh my God, there's like a desert on the side of this fucking mountain,
yeah.
with big rocks, and
Big rocks.
big
Yeah, we
rocks.
didn't. Yeah, we didn't go through this year when we drove up here. We like we left Austin at like 2 o'clock in the afternoon, and we made it through Texas and got to New Mexico like 2 a.m. in the morning, right?
Right.
Which, by the way,
Like, did you
New
go? Did you go
Mexico.
through Reno or
No, we went through Salt Lake City.
you went? Oh, you went through Salt Lake City. Oh, okay.
Yeah. So we
Okay.
like
Yeah,
we went
yeah,
up to,
yeah,
we went
yeah.
to
You wouldn't have.
Albuquerque.
You wouldn't have.
We went through the res, like we drove through the reservation, like the Navajo reservation area, and we went up to Farmington, New Mexico, slept there, um, saw Shiprock, and went to the Four Corners, and then we went through Moab to Salt Lake City, all the way to Twin Falls,
Mm.
Idaho.
Yeah. Well, when I drive
Uh,
to Seattle, which is actually a drive I don't enjoy.
the I-5 drive is bad.
I hate taking the
Is it
IO5
not
down.
pretty? I haven't done that one, so I
Okay,
don't know.
so
Yeah.
coming out of Northern California, the IO5 is treacherous.
Mm-hmm.
It's a treacherous drive. It's where a lot of shipping comes through it, and there is a section of it which is like 2 lanes,
Mm-hmm.
and so you got all these trucks.
The interstate?
Yeah, yeah, going into Oregon. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
And it's slow going, and all you have to do is all you have to look at is the rock wall on one side and the sheer drop on the other.
That
And
I
there's
understand.
always a
Yeah,
truck
that's
accident on it.
terrifying.
There's
Yeah.
always a truck accident.
That's terrifying. I get you. I got it.
Yeah.
Now I also understand why there's only 2 lanes.
Yeah, they're the I-5 down to Los Angeles is not as treacherous, but it is boring. It is the most boring 6 hours of driving. And I know people are like, yeah, but it's an hour and a half faster. And I'm like, not worth it. Not worth it. It is.
You
It
ever
is.
just tried to take the train up?
Huh?
Have you ever just tried to take the train up to Seattle?
It takes too long.
It takes too
And
long.
it's too expensive.
Hmm.
Like,
Stop. Go spotting your dad. Sorry, my son.
yeah. If it costs, maybe it's changed, but like the cost of taking the train was still more expensive than driving up and staying the night in Portland. By like a few $100s.
Gotcha.
And basically, it wasn't that much more to just take a plane.
That's fair. I can see that. See, like, when I when I go down to Seattle, I take the train.
Mm,
It's first class. Like I had to take first class coming back up when I was there last time because they didn't have please sir. They didn't have a coach ticket, but it was like
mm,
20 bucks more. And it
right.
cost me like a $200 round trip to take the train to Seattle.
Oh
Essentially,
wow, yeah, that's a
yeah,
lot less than from San
yeah,
Francisco
but
to
it's only like a
Seattle.
4 hour train ride.
Oh yeah, like
Yeah,
the train
yeah,
ride from SF to fucking it's way longer. It's like a 14 hour
yeah,
straight driving. It's like 14 hours.
yeah. I
You know,
imagine.
so the train is not going to be much better. You know,
Yeah. Well, I would say like I was wondering like if it is taken like if maybe like the the views because I you take a train because you want to look at the fucking views without having to worry about driving. Like that's
right.
why you take the train, right? Over so that's why I was wondering if you ever taken that particular because I
No, I've
don't
never
think it's
taken
the
that train ride.
Cascade line anymore. It's a different line at that point because I think the Cascadia line stops in Portland and
Yeah,
then the next line goes um from Portland all the way down to San Diego.
yeah. FN Lorder. Straight white Americans are obsessed with making themselves the victims. That's one thing that unites them poor. You're not wrong, but that's not really what we're talking about.
Yeah, what's going on? What
Yeah,
are we talking
I
about?
don't know why we're talking. I don't know why we're bringing that up at the moment. But you're not wrong. That's something
You're
that
not wrong. Where are we saying this? I don't even
yeah,
know
yeah.
where this
Just
is
wondering where
at.
this is coming from.
Yeah.
Oh well.
We're talking about the Pacific Northwest,
Northwest.
which is full of white people, but
Yeah,
not
but
straight ones.
that's not really the part we're talking about. We're literally talking about the geography. You
We're
know.
talking about Amtrak.
Yeah, but it is kind of one thing I do find kind of funny is that I one of the things that I obviously come into conflict with in more rural areas is that I do come from a more multicultural understanding of the world,
Yeah.
and that it becomes hard to relate when people are afraid of like cities. And I'm like, cities nothing to be afraid of. I've lived in cities almost all my life. I've also lived in rural areas. I lived in tropical areas. I'm gonna tell you, city's pretty safe. Um, cities are pretty safe places. Yeah, there's some
They are.
places you don't want to go at night like an
I would
idiot.
say that the bigger the city, even I think is actually safer because I think some of the
I would agree.
smaller cities. So the closest city where I was from is Alexandria, Louisiana. I lived in small town Louisiana. It's actually like one of the worst cities to live in. Like it's so bad. Like there's a drive-by shooting like in the white neighborhoods.
Yeah.
Like, kind of, and you're just like, all right, like okay, um, sort of thing. And, it's all because like obviously poverty and racism is the
Mm-hmm.
cause of it. But on top of all that, Central Louisiana is fucking crazy, dude. On top of all that, there's like a turf war between the Pentecostals and the diocese.
Yeah.
So there's also that's also going on, and it's like the Catholic Church and the Pentecostal Church are two different gangs, and they're constantly fighting over the same territory in that city. It's weird. It's so weird.
Yeah. Cave Witch says, I was in shock when you told me that rural areas had a hate campaign against cities. Oh, yeah, absolutely. Absolutely, they do. Rural areas have a hate campaign against cities.
So yeah, here's what's up. Like I think there's an issue of empathy on both sides of this, right? There are going to be different economic and cultural issues that cities have that rural areas have
Right.
that both of them feel are being ignored to an extent. And I say this as somebody who's grown up fucking country and who now lives in one of the biggest fucking cities in North America. Like, I it's And the thing is that like you're gonna have urban areas and cities that are gonna be disenfranchised by your government,
Oh yeah.
and you're going to have entire rural areas that are disenfranchised by their government. And the thing is, it's all rooted in racism and it's all rooted in classism. Okay? And the sooner we stop getting our fucking sticks out of our asses and fucking rise up against the ruling class, like.
Yeah. It also has a lot to do with fear. It also has a lot to do with fear because,
Yeah.
like, if moving somewhere very different from where you grew up is scary, and
Oh yeah.
a lot of conservatives have a harder time dealing with fear than people who are liberal.
Yes.
So
Because they're afraid of new experiences, because though people, the way that they have been taught is that it's again rooted in racism.
Oh
It's
yeah.
like where there's like a huge concentration of people of color, things are dangerous. And the thing is that like it's just as fucking dangerous in Appalachia. There's just as much drugs in
Oh
Appalachia.
fuck yeah.
There's just as much guns in like in those mountains, sort
Yeah.
of thing. You know, like it's just as dangerous.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's gonna be like, don't get me wrong, like, you know, I'm not an idiot to think that there's no danger in a major city, that there's no danger in the country. But the thing is that, you know, I live in this world as being perceived as female. Like,
Yeah.
everywhere is dangerous. Pentecostal and Catholic, what year is it? Bro, you don't even want to know. Like,
I don't know. I look, I just go with the calendar everyone else uses.
Yeah. It's technically 2025, which I'm fucking surprised I'm existing in, by the way. Like,
I know, right?
I feel strange, like, that I'm existing in the year 2025.
Yeah, I feel very strange about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because, you know, okay, we're former, you know, you're a Gen X and I'm an older millennial alt kid, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, we didn't think we were gonna make it to 30.
No, hell no.
Like, and here I am, it's just, and they're like, why don't you plan for your future? It's like, bro, I didn't know I was gonna be here. What are you talking about?
Yeah, what are you talking about? Like,
like, what do you mean?
yeah, and it's funny that, like, that it's interesting because the irony is that I think that attitude, it was, you know, don't get me wrong, not the greatest, but it also served us pretty well, because even though we didn't think we'd live, like, we somehow still financially made it out better than what came later. You know?
Yeah.
And I know.
Don't get me wrong. They're still one bad paycheck away from being homeless.
Yeah, like, yeah. The same here.
Yeah.
You know. Well, me a little less.
Well, I also know that if I ever got into a situation, my parents would be like, "Baby, come back." Like, the house, like, come live with us, kind of thing. Like, I have the safety net of having a healthy relationship with my parents. Like, I don't know if I'd want to live with them again.
Yeah.
But I could.
I'm also in a pretty good position because my family deliberately set itself up for lean times.
Mm-hmm.
Because my father's side of the family anyway, because they knew money that can just be taken away.
Yeah.
But you still need to know how to manage it, because it does too many things. So for example, like, my healthcare is taken care of, you know, which is huge.
Yeah.
Now, I'm still in constant danger of being, like, evicted.
Yeah.
You know, because there's enough money for healthcare, but not necessarily enough money for house. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, that's on a different level now. If we were back in like the 80s or 90s economy, I'd probably have a house, but no. No, that's not the world we live in anymore.
Before the towers fell economy is what you're saying.
Yeah, before the towers fell economy, you know.
Those of
one
you who get it.
Well, la-di-da, Mr. Gen Xer. Hey.
Yeah.
Hey, man. It's it is what it is.
Gen
I got
Xer.
lucky. You know, I didn't plan for that. I just
Yeah.
happened to be born to a family that did that. You know.
Yeah.
And so now I'm getting into the age where it's behooving me to understand, oh, how does an investment work? You know, what is a mutual fund? What is high risk? What is all that stuff? Because like, and
There's
one
some
of the things that's scary,
generational
right?
Stuff for you to inherit.
Oh yeah. There's
Yeah.
there's an amount of generational wealth that I didn't know I had.
Yeah.
You know, that I'm probably gonna have to start becoming responsible for. Which is a little, you know, a little intimidating, but like better than not. And then I think of people who don't have that, and I'm like, holy fucking shit. We're hanging on by it. We're hanging on by some threads here. You know, like people who don't have it as well off are really in a bad spot. Why the fuck are we doing it this way? You know, because even with everything that my family has, I am not rich.
Yeah.
I am not rich. I don't even have the $100,000 a year. You know, I'm in like the high 40s. We're in the high 40s. You know, if we're talking about, and that's putting together all the income.
Yeah, that's about like, I think we're in the low 50s.
Low 50s? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And it's, I wish I could say that, the future generations would have that, at least that security, but they don't. You know, and that's what bothers me. That really bothers me.
I also notice a lot of it, you know, talking about generational wealth and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
There's a difference in, this is comparing my own family with my husband's family. My husband's family, his parents specifically, his mom, has made her own fortune, essentially working, right?
Right.
And also being a landlord, which is not a job. Whereas, like, my family's wealth does come from farmland. Like, that's like land. Like, that is, we had land,
owning land,
and then we're at the, like, all, like, my parents' generations are the last ones that own the land, and then they will hand over the land to me and my brother, sort of thing, right? Like, that's the one thing. It's just like, I don't care where it's at in the United States. I got land, brother. Like, where, like, his family, like, because they're new money, and they have way more money than my parents do. My dad retired from the post office. Like, he was the high 50s when he retired, right? But he has land and was able to build his house in the 90s or the 80s even, on land that was already owned by the family. So, you know, like, set himself up pretty good. And of course, the post office unions set himself up really well, right? But like, his family was like generational wealth, like,
I'm taking
not
karate,
existence.
so I can
Like,
fight
it is
the
very
cannibal
much,
gangs
I
and
got
go kill
mine.
bots of tomorrow.
Like for their generation of children,
right,
like, absolutely. It's like, you know, it's like, oh, we all know how I feel about, you know, my house that we were renting from my in-law,
right,
or not being sold is the problem. But
yeah. Well,
like,
one thing
kind of
I
thing is
have
just,
realized as I've gotten older, you know, as I'm in, you know, comfortably as I am in middle age right now.
I need you. I'll listen.
you you should never stop being who you are.
Oh no.
You know,
Fuck
you
that.
should never stop being who you are, and every time is a terrible time. Now, sometimes are objectively worse than others, but it's always bad. Times are always bad. It's always a bad idea to start something. It's always a bad idea to change careers. It's always a bad idea to go to school. It's always a bad idea. It's always a bad idea.
Yeah.
You know, you're not going to find a better time to do anything ever. It
Yeah.
doesn't happen. You know, I'm taking karate lessons right now so I can fight the cannibal gangs and kill rogue bots of tomorrow.
Great.
Hey, man.
Good
Hey,
for
man.
you, bud.
You know,
Congratulations.
I'm, man.
I just know how to shoot a gun.
I've shot guns before. Not fantastically good at it. And I don't own one because I don't want one in my house.
No, that's fair.
Yeah, I don't want one in my house
Yeah.
because I don't want to have to use it. And I don't want to
Yeah.
accidentally use it, if you catch my
Yeah.
drift.
Yeah. I
You
catch
know.
your drift. Like obviously, like I don't have anything in Canada because, like, you can own guns in Canada, people. Okay?
Right. Yeah, of course.
Like, okay, it's a sport. It's a hunt. Like we hunt in Canada, but the storage and the restrictions, and because it's not a right here, it's a privilege, just like having a driver's license is.
Right.
I didn't bring my hunting rifles up here when I moved up here, right? They're just with my parents, sort of thing. But you know, that's just the community. Again, I grew up in the country, so bonfires and guns, bro.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
I'm the type of leftist that when you come back around, you get your guns back, sort of leftist. Because especially right now, I think, you know, maybe certain people should be protecting themselves.
Well,
in the United States.
I'm of the opinion that certain people should lose their access to firearms.
Mhm.
You know,
100%.
and I don't
like
understand.
cops.
Yeah. Yeah,
Like
you want
cops.
to see America become a less deadly place, disarm the cops, I'm telling you.
Yeah.
You know.
Disarm the cops. Yeah.
You know, like they don't need to be walking around with all that firepower. They can keep I'm even of the opinion. I'm like, hey, you can keep your pistols and the occasional shotgun. I get it. But there's some stuff that you guys got that is like, no, you don't need that. You don't need that.
With the cops, or
with the
normal
cops.
people?
Yeah,
Yeah,
well,
no.
you know, you don't need that with the cops. And I'm like,
Heck
look,
yeah, baby, hell yeah.
yeah. Yeah, because I don't trust cops. You know, I never
And you
have.
shouldn't.
Yeah, I never have.
You should never trust
will.
cops.
You know, will I call them if I get robbed? Yeah, probably.
Yeah, unfortunately, or the crackhead. I don't know.
You know,
Probably do a better job if find out who did it. Just through the rumor mill. Why do you think cops have informants?
you know, but yeah, I don't know. I've been playing a lot of Cyberpunk lately.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I realize I have a lot of fun in those worlds. You know, I have a lot of fun in those worlds. I've never been like a big Wild West person, but like the dark future is kind of for me. You know, particularly
dark
when
future.
we're
Nice.
yeah. Nighttime city creatures. So I like city fiction.
I say this as I'm about to run a horror western game here. Like the West has never been or horror, like, you know, thematically, like cowboy stuff has never been like prevalent in my brain.
Right.
Like Appalachia and swampland, 100%.
Right.
Right, like, because I love the lore that is created out of Appalachia, specifically because of its mountain range
Right.
and the way that Appalachia was settled mostly by Scottish colonizers. Because I don't know if you knew this, but Appalachia and the Scottish Highlands are the same fucking mountain range.
I did not know that.
They are. They're the same mountain range from Pangea.
Oh. Interesting.
So, yeah. So, like, that in itself, like, geographically. By the way, for those of you, I don't believe in anything spooky. I'm an atheist through and through. I don't have any supernatural inclinations. I just think it's neat. Like, because I like stories and I like
Right.
spooky things because they're fun. And Mothman has a cute butt. Like, so, but yeah, so that's like the cool, like, geographical connection that you can connect to the lore of Appalachia and the lore of Scotland, because they are geographically the same mountain range. And then you ended up having most of the people in most of the white folk that live in Appalachia now are Scottish heritage.
Right.
Oh my god.
Oh, kitty.
He's being a pain in the ass. His father is just in the other room playing some kind of video game, and he wants dinner, but my ADHD husband has not been paying attention to him.
Aww.
So give me a second. I'm gonna mute myself.
Okay, no problem. I'm gonna get coffee. We'll take a quick break. All right.
I am in a pretty lonely place.
Quick, it won't last. It won't last. Kitty. There you go. Fuzzy creature. Little fuzzy creature. Oh. Oh, man. Yeah, I said Tuxedo Kitty. His name's Gomez, for those of you who didn't know. Now he is outside cleaning himself. Trying to figure out what for. Hey, greetings, Johnny.
also put my sushi order in with my husband to go. Because he's gonna go get his sushi. Just before it closes.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, well, it's got 2 hours. Our local spot right there by the, it's like a half a block down.
Oh, man.
It's good shit.
Oh. Yeah, my kitty was briefly on thing. Now he's out there.
We both have tuxedo menaces.
Yes.
So.
Mm.
Yep. Riggs is like 2 tuxedos. Yeah. We've only had Hal for chat. You know the show. We've only had Hal since June. So he's our new addition. He's our second tuxedo because we had Ruby back in the day and she was a tux as well. And then Romeo was a cow cat. But like, yeah, no, I just remember I went into the SPCA and I was like, I want a tiny little girl cat. I want a little sweet baby girl. And then I walked out with the fucking himbo.
Yep. Sometimes you pick the cat, sometimes cat picks you.
He's 20 pounds. Let's go.
Oh my God. I've been thinking a lot about this show, actually. The show that I put on.
Which show?
This one. You know, this one. Not necessarily this particular episode, but just like the whole streaming thing in general.
Oh, us, like in particular.
Yeah.
What we're talking about. Okay.
Yeah. And I've just been thinking, you know, realizing that I'm adding my voice to the noise of everything, which is the internet. And I'm like, why? And I realize I kind of don't care. I don't. I'm not worried about it really.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because I'm like, well, if every idiot is gonna add their voice to the mix, then why not mine? You know, I'm really tired. I see these broadcasters and I really, really hate them. I really don't like them. I find them to be stupid and not entertaining at all, you know, because sometimes stupid is fun. You know, yeah. I can get stupid being fun. I get that very easily. But I don't like this whole weird environment that they have where it's like, oh yeah, trans. Well,
listen,
fuck
or
you.
You know, people worrying about women's body count.
Yeah, or people worrying
that
about
kind.
Yeah, that kind of shit.
It's like, how can you tell if they're lying about it or not?
Well, for me, it comes down to this.
Yeah.
For me, it comes down to this. Like, when I see people go like, oh, would you date someone who had an OnlyFans? I'm like, yes. Of course. Yeah. Like, why wouldn't I?
Like, what? Like, yeah, sorry. Like, or even just the ones that are, like, less extreme. Would you date somebody who had an Instagram? I go, bro, it's Instagram.
It's Instagram. Like,
I share pictures of my cat.
Yeah, if Instagram's out of the picture, then who's left?
Like, yeah, but it's just sort of like, what are you talking about? like it's I don't get it. And like, here's the thing, I didn't really understand dating before the swiping culture either. Like, I mean, I met my husband a live journal, for crying out loud. Like,
I had this thing where I was of the opinion, people are like, what do you think is a good first date? And I'm like, oh, a good first date ends in sex. And they're like, well, wait, what do you mean? I'm like, no. If we're not willing to fuck on the first date, we're probably not willing to fuck on the third or fourth. And the relationship doesn't start until the sex is had.
I guess that is for an allosexual because I'm on the demi spectrum.
Oh,
so,
yeah.
Yeah,
like,
I'm on the ace. Yeah, so I'm a demisexual, right? So I don't agree with that, but if that is how you and other people...
That is definitely how I operate. It didn't always work. you know?
Yeah.
But that's how I always operated because
Uh,
I'm like, no, I'm not here to waste time, you know?
That is fair. And I know, like, especially as you get older, specifically in the dating sphere, you don't want to waste time.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
know,
yeah.
I could waste time. Well, I say I could waste time. Listen, I am repressed, okay?
Mm,
I grew up Catholic and I grew up in purity culture. Like, I did have my first kiss until I was 18 years old, okay? Like,
mm.
I didn't lose my virginity until I was 25. I sucked a few dicks before that. But I did not I did not have sex for the first time until I was 25. And then I didn't have an open relationship until I was in my 35.
Right,
So
right.
because I had to be like I looked at my husband and I was like, bro, I need to figure shit out. Can we just let me figure it? He's like, yeah, it's fine. I love you.
Yeah,
You're good.
I had my first kiss at 14, lost my virginity at 17, didn't have my first real
Yeah.
relationship, didn't have my first like solid relationship until 19. You
Yeah.
know, but that's 19 is when I had my first like real relationship.
But my other thing is that I realize now it's like most of my relationships before, because I would date someone for like 2 weeks and they'd be like, I don't like this person anymore, and I would dump them.
Oh yeah.
But and I realized it was a lot to do with like my autism did not vibe with you, like sort of thing. Like my neurodivergence did not vibe with you. Like I could tell when something was not going to work out, and most things were not going to work out until it did work out. I'm going to be on 15 years this November. Like sort of thing, right? But yeah, dating was always just kind of weird. For the longest time I was just like, of course I want a Catholic man, of course I want babies, like. And then I was like, then around 22, 23, I was like, I don't fucking want children.
Mm.
I'm not mentally stable. It's like probably like my worst mental health time.
I
was around
didn't
22,
I
23 years
wasn't
old,
certain
yeah.
about that until I was in my mid 30s.
Yeah, I was pretty certain before I was 25. And then I started to look for child-free people to date.
Mm.
Which, by the way, not Catholic men. Like,
I dated a lot.
not Catholics.
I dated
Yeah.
a lot of women who had kids. You know.
That's cool. That's cool. Yeah. I also was never opposed to like dating someone who had children, kind of thing, as long as like the expectation was that I was not going to be a parent.
Mm.
If that made sense. Like
Yeah, that
you're
makes
not,
sense. That makes sense.
like I'm not here to like in with the exception of like maybe like a parent died sort of thing. Like, but it's like this person has a parent, like two parents. There should. Like, it's not me. Like,
yeah. There was never. I never
Yeah, I'm
dated
not
anyone who
here to
had the
raise
expectation
children.
that I
Yeah.
was going to be like a father to their kid. In fact, they were sort of like, "Yeah, by the way, you're not going to be a father to my kid." Be like, "Oh no,
Yeah.
that's fine with me."
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not. That wasn't what I was looking for anyway. You know, but apparently there is quite a lot of that.
Yeah.
You know, quite a
Yeah.
lot of that. You know,
Especially in that bro manosphere thing. Like when it
Yes.
comes to like they have like an issue with like single parents, specifically single mothers, and it's just kind of like it's like, oh, she made the bad decision or something. First of all, now we're in an environment where we definitely don't have a fucking choice for most part. Like the choice is gone. Like it's gone.
right?
Right. So it's like, what are you talking about? Like,
Yeah,
sometimes people have
yeah.
children. like people have children. Like, especially when you get older, are you seriously gonna be finding someone like in your mid-30s to date that is not gonna have children unless they have been child-free their whole fucking life? Like,
Yeah.
sort of thing. Like, it's not a like. And then, like, there's, like, that weird expectation of, like, clearly if they don't have children, then they haven't had that much sex. It's like, that's not true,
Not
brother.
necessarily true.
It's not true, brother.
Yeah.
Um,
There are ways,
like-
as I like to say. You know, there are ways.
only fictional characters get my mojo going. Cave Witch, let me tell you something about fictional men. And all the feelings I have about them, they're great. Like,
Yeah.
I love fictional men. Like-
Yeah, for me, it was just about that. Like, if yeah, I knew some guys who thought that they had to, be the man of the house, and I'm like, no, you don't. No,
No,
you don't. In fact,
you don't.
that desire is fucking up your relationship right now. You need to
Yep.
stop it. Like that guy already has a deadbeat dad. He
Yeah.
doesn't need the one who's trying to prove something to his moms.
Yeah. All you have to do, the way that I see it, like if you, whether it's your biological kid or whatever, or your step kid, I think the best thing that you can just do is be a good partner for them.
Yeah, exactly.
And that alone in itself is like gonna get you the respect of the kid.
Yes.
Like, just be a good partner to your partner that happens to have the child. And I think that's literally the only fucking like flag you need, green wise. Like,
yeah. All right, good night, Mousedon. Take care.
good night, Mousedon. Yeah. So
$17 a unit. Jesus Christ.
what? $17 a unit of what?
Oh, so that game I'm working on, I got a quote from a printer
Oh,
that was
yeah.
like $17 per unit. And I'm like,
Yikes.
that's a lot. That's a lot per book to be printed.
Yeah.
Obviously, I'm going to have to keep looking,
Right now, printing is not great because of the tariffs.
No, it is not. It is
Yeah,
not.
because guess where you get all your wood from, brother?
Canada.
Yep. Where you get all your paper from?
Canada.
Yep.
Yep.
So, though I think there was something written that books were not being included in the same level
Well,
of tariffs
that doesn't mean people aren't
as-
going to raise the prices anyway.
Yeah, true.
Like
But
that's
the people who are making board games right now are actually the
they're
ones
getting
that are taking the biggest hit
fucked. They're getting
because of
fucked.
cardboard, right? Yeah, they're fucked.
Yeah.
Absolutely fucked. So
Yep.
you're probably going to see a lot of people do a lot of digital versions of their board games.
Mm-hmm.
Like I play the digital version of Wingspan daily. Like, anybody wants to play Birds with me, let me know. I'll play Birds with you.
Right.
Like, just look me up on Steam. Same name.
Oh, they want to. See, what else did they want to know? San Fran.
Well, I don't even have the plastic off of my feet.
Really?
Yeah, like we have not. I bought it because I played it one time with a friend in person, like a one shot, and then I was like, oh, I'm gonna buy the book so we can all play fucking Fate together on my channel, and nobody has tried to play any Fate, so I like it for what I remember.
Yeah, it's one of the things. I've got this weird thing about game design, and I think that people who make board games are a little bit better, are better at this than a lot of people that make independent role playing games. Which is realizing how the mechanics affect the tone and play of the game itself. Yes. This needs to be a big thing. This is a big thing because there are ways of like doing it that put everyone right there where you need them to be, and some which are not as conducive to that. And I think And I have a thing against role-playing games in which the game master does not roll dice.
You have a thing against that?
I have a thing against it because it forgets that
Okay.
the game master is a player.
Yeah. I don't mind it. Because like in Blades of the Dark, we don't roll dice. We react.
Mm-hmm.
And I think if there's a good reaction mechanic, like in Blades in the Dark, I think it's fine.
Yeah. But that's what
Because-
makes it.
because,
That's
yeah.
what makes that different. You know.
Yeah, whereas like for example, I guess like with a lot of Powered by the Apocalypse, so depending on which version of Powered by the Apocalypse that you're doing,
Yeah. Yeah, because it's like Linux. There are a million different flavors of it. You know.
Yeah, like Avatar is going to be different than Monster of the Week or
Right.
you know, Urban Shadows or Monster Hearts or things like that, right? And the thing is, I think like for some people that works really well for certain things. I think it works pretty decently for actual plays because it becomes more cinematic that way. But at the same time, like I also don't believe that all tabletop games should be conductive to actual plays.
Oh no.
Like I think Lancer is a terrible game for an actual play.
That'd be an awful game to fucking live play. 'Cause it's so tactical.
It's so we tried it. We tried it on mine. We tried it.
Geez.
We didn't make all the and I think about like 5 episodes in we're like, this is difficult. And so we ended it pretty quickly. And I think one of my biggest complaints about that particular system was that the social mechanics and the mechanics were completely separate, right?
Yeah.
Like you couldn't use the skill your skills in either or. And I was like, I don't know if I actually like that.
Yeah. Well, like one of a good thing to look out for is if people dread combat, not because they could die, but because, oh God.
It's unfun.
Yeah, but because it's unfun,
Yeah.
like that's a failure of the system. That's a systemic
100%.
failure.
Yeah,
You know?
100%.
Yeah, and I also...
My husband took his pants off and I could see his butt. Sorry. It's a little Hank Hilly, but it's good.
Yeah.
I'm live. You can't abuse me right now. Stop.
Yeah.
Give my sushi, please.
My wife gnaws on me.
Oh yeah, I know on him.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm orally fixated, and I also stim on him. Just constantly patting him. Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah. Listen, I'm autistic. What can I say?
Yeah.
I gotta stim.
Yeah. Like, well, one of the things about Powered by the Apocalypse that kind of bugs me is its resolution system. I don't think that the concept of its resolution system is bad, but you don't get that instinctual I rolled good or bad.
Yeah.
You know, like I like that
It's like you do it.
instinctual good, bad, you know, like,
Yeah.
you know, there's something about it. It's very
I also-
rewarding.
And I also don't find that a lot of Powered by the Apocalypse really leans into other, especially the bad rolls. Like, there's no real consequence to rolling bad. In
Yeah.
systems.
Yeah.
Like, it's just like you do it or you don't do it, or you kind of do it. Unless very specifically in the system itself that it made, like in the specific game, it's like, you know, this is the partial success and these are the consequences of that. But there's a lot of them that just don't actually have consequences, which is why, again, I like Blades in the Dark. Because
Right.
there's consequences to when you fail. Not just consequences, it's where the game shines.
Yeah, it is. It is.
Like, it's like, oh, I'm gonna fucking fail. Like, sometimes I have fudged my own rolls in Blades in the Dark just so I could fail.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
because I would like to. I was like, because I have a very good dice luck.
Yeah, there's
So
this
yeah,
game that uses Powered by the Apocalypse that really it really kind of depresses me because I would otherwise be really into this game. It's
is
called
it Cult?
Otherscape.
Otherscape. Okay.
Otherscape. Cult Powered by
Not
the
Cult.
Apocalypse and Cult works well enough. I think it needs a
Yeah.
few tweaks. I think it needs a little adjustment, but like overall,
Mm-hmm.
I think it works. Um, the problem I have with
Oh, okay. Otherscape is done the same people that do City of Mist and Legend of the Mist.
yes,
Yes, gotcha. I have City of Mist right here. I'm waiting for my Legend of the Mist Kickstarter to come in.
yeah,
Gotcha. No, I understand. With their card system and their the way like their attribute listings and how that gives you um
yeah. I find myself
more or less
it's
dice. Yeah.
really hard to wrap my head around the character. You
Yeah,
know,
because it's like keywords.
yeah, yeah. You would
Which was the same issue with Defiant 2 that I
yes,
felt. Yes.
yeah. You know,
Because
it's
it's
like,
like
what am I actually good at? You know, like,
mhm,
what should I be doing here according to my skill set? You know,
yeah.
and you don't because in this effort to make the characters more descriptive, what actually unintentionally happens is they're more. It's more a collection of stats. The stats are just words,
Mhm.
and
Yeah.
you would think that that would really describe a character, but it doesn't.
It doesn't. Yeah. That yeah. And I played City of Mist with Amit, who the game designer. I did it for Play Cancer Away.
Hmm.
But yeah, and then I played it like one other time uh on Colin Amacon's channel. And I thought it was interesting enough to obviously to buy the game. Because I think I like the urban I like I need more urban fantasy in my life.
Yes, yeah, yeah. I know what you
Like
mean. I know what you mean.
I need urban like I want more urban fantasy in my life. Like I don't get me wrong, I love high fantasy, I love horror, but I'm having a craving for urban
Yeah,
fantasy.
yeah, and
Yeah,
Otherscape is sort of like it's their kind of version of Shadowrun, right? You know, it's like
yeah,
myth and cyberpunk,
yeah.
and I think
Looking
it
at it right
fails
now.
on it definitely fails on the cyberpunk level because I found myself going like, can I just go to a Ripper Doc and get wired reflexes or not?
Hmm.
You know, like how do I improve my guy? Can I get 6 arms? Like,
Yeah,
you know, like shit, like how crazy can I go? And
yeah.
it's sort of like, well, it's all up to your descriptors. And you're like, oh, that doesn't
So
feel
do
as
I
cool.
get more or less? Like, are these just can I change them as the character goes on? Sort
Yeah,
of thing. Yeah.
yeah. Also, it runs into the because it's not necessary because there's no money mechanic, and you're in a
Oh
cyberpunk
yeah.
setting. You're like, why
Yeah.
am I doing anything again? You know, sometimes you need that little thing. You know, like even if if your Pathfinder D&D group isn't all about like killing monsters, taking their stuff, if they don't get stuff, all of a sudden they start to wonder why they're bothering.
Hmm.
You know, never think money is not a decent motivator in some games because sometimes it is. You know,
Oh no, 100%.
like they're not great motivators in like World of Darkness games. You know, 'cause it's not about that. You know, it's not about that at all. But in Cyberpunk, yeah, yes, it's a world run by corporations. There should be money.
Hmm.
You know, whatever you call it. You know, there should be cash. You know, or credits. You know, I have corporate credits or whatever the fuck.
Hmm.
What you looking at?
I'm about to show you something.
Where are you
Sorry,
gonna
but
put
I
it?
had to. I'm gonna put it in. I guess I can put it. What do you want, in Discord or Zoom chat? I'll put it in Discord.
Put it in
It's
Discord, yeah.
It's the Blaze in the Dark. Uh, it's the Blaze in the Dark skin that. Never mind, that access was denied.
Oh.
Sorry, I'm just wondering where my.
Yeah, if
share
Cyberpunk ain't a
is.
capitalist hellscape, you ain't doing it right. Agreed.
Yeah, exactly.
Agreed.
Like. Sorry, I'm looking. Why is this not working? Sorry, my Google Drive is being weird. Opened by me. Not owned by me. This should be it. Can I share this? Hey, there we go. There we go. I'm putting Discord. You wanna look at it? This is the one I'm about to run. It's kind of basically in, I guess, beta at this point.
Nightmares on the Frontier? Right. Oh, this is your game.
Yeah, my friend Jeremy is mostly the designer for it. I am lore contributing. Specifically in lycanthropes and angels, because those are my special interest. But it uses vanilla blades in the dark, and then there's the setting specific stuff. You're allowed to, if you wanted to share the screen, you're allowed to. It's fine.
Yeah, I don't mind solar punk, but like to me, it's just fantasy with Miyazaki-like technology.
Yep, I think solar punk works really well for JRPGs.
Yes, yeah.
JRPG
I feel like
setting.
it's an element that you can, like steampunk. It works best as an element in something else.
Yeah, for sure. I think when we play Fabula Ultima, we're gonna be doing it as solar punk. But I'm not sure. I have to actually have my meeting with my GM tomorrow. Because we're gonna do Fabula Ultima.
Man, one of the things I wish that I had in my game was a mechanic that was scary.
Oh, you want to scare me?
Yeah, I like scaring people, but every time I run a game, I just end up like using my natural scariness, which seems to work really well. And I can't seem to translate that into any sort of mechanic.
Yeah, that's fair. I am currently, because I'm about to run this one, and Carcosa is just part of the lore, so I was like, I guess I gotta go read The King in Yellow now.
Well, like, I do know one thing that I think is a benefit to any game master doing anything horror, which is Stephen King's hierarchy of terror.
Yes.
Which the best, creepy. Yeah. If it's creepy, that's what you want. However, if it's not creepy, you can go for the scare. Yeah. This is the jump scare, the surprise. If that fails, go for the gross out.
Yeah.
That's the hierarchy. Creepy, scary, gross.
Night Cave Witch. The only type of horror that I really subgenre that I really don't like is torture porn. That's my I don't like the first Saw, pretty good, right?
Yeah. Well, I mean that's the classic torture porn.
Yeah, and then afterwards it was just I don't know if I actually like this as a genre kind of thing, right? Because it just wasn't. It's not my jam. I when it comes to grossness, for me it's all about body horror.
Right.
So I mean, mine is John Carpenter's The Thing.
Yes, yeah, that's the great granddaddy.
Oh, so gross, and I love it, and it just not just because you have two of the hottest men in Hollywood at their prime in it either.
Yeah.
Me and Kurt Russell and Keith David. Get it. Listen, I also watched Gargoyles as a child. Disney was really quintessential in my monster fucking habit.
Yeah. Well, I'll also be like really, 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 really fair. It's very hard to do. It's hard to do a torture story in TTRPGs. And
Yes.
this is actually not necessarily a bad thing.
Correct.
Because one of the problems, the thing about torture is that it's largely psychological.
Yes.
And you would think that that would make it fertile ground for TTRPGs, but no, you're way too separated from what's actually going on. There's not actually a person with a knife threatening you. But the other problem comes in when you do succeed, which is people don't like it. They inherently, it's like mind control. They don't like it. I'm like, never mind control a player character unless it's for a single action.
Yeah.
Like a single action is fine, you know, but like ongoing, you are their servant and their slave. Like, you don't want a mechanic for that.
No.
You know,
no, it's no.
It's no
Taking
good.
away agency is gross.
Yeah. Taking away the player's agency is terrible. It almost never works.
Yes, in society, I will. Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah, it doesn't tend to work. You know,
Yeah, you were able to do a pretty successful one, you and Ian, a torture scene in Defiant, though.
In Defiant, yeah.
I were able, but that's because
but that was an NPC.
That was towards an NPC, but like towards like the player character, because the thing is that like one, like it, you know, just like this is why TTRPGs is just fucking kink, y'all.
Yeah.
Like there has to be somebody there, especially if it's like the GM to player, somebody like the GM is supposed to be the monitor to begin with, but if that's the case, like there needs to be somebody else there taking care of both of those people and taking care of the audience or the other players.
Yes. Yeah.
Sort of thing. You know, that's like the thing. It's like everybody, you can't go in, you know, just like you can't go into it blind when you're filming a scene, right? Like you can't actually go into this blind. And I think that's what a lot of people in TTRPGs, we're so into the improv and wanting everything to be a surprise and go in and blind and things like that. And the thing is that causes so many fucking problems at tables when you don't have a moment to like the conversations about safety tools and be like, we should actually talk about this and be like, the characters need to be surprised. I don't.
Like, right.
When it comes to like some of these heavier things, like don't get me wrong, I still love surprises for both of us, and there should be, but it shouldn't be torture is the surprise. Like,
yeah.
You know, like you need to have like those conversations at the table, and everybody needs to be taking.
Oh yeah, especially among the players. Especially among the players.
Yeah.
You know, like it's one of the game I'm writing. I have a different safety system, which is starts out with the game's rating, where it's basically, all right, you're gonna run this PG-13, R, or unrated.
Yeah.
And what does that mean? You know, like PG-13 means that you're not gonna do this. You're not gonna do. R means we're going to do most of the things that are expected. This is kind of the way the game is intended to run.
Yeah.
Not rated means that the guardrails are, everything's on the table.
Yeah.
You know, and so this is the point at which you really, really need to understand the players. This is not an easy way out. This means you're going in harm's way and everyone's got to be up for that. You know?
Yeah. And the thing is like having that opportunity for players to experience that, because some people are like, I don't want to experience that, and that's fine, but there are people just like in Kink who need to experience these things for catharsis, because it is a way to take control of their traumas, and that's what fucking roleplay is for in certain scenarios. Like, and not for everyone, again, not for everyone, but me. Like,
oh no, I
did. You think I'm not gonna have listen? Because we all know I have a thing with Igor, and I don't like it. So I
Right.
made it a point as a GM this time around when I'm going to be running this, because there's going to be a lot of biblically accurate angels. The eyes are everywhere, brother.
Right, right.
So many eyes.
Question about that though. Is it
Yeah.
it's I don't know if we talked about this. Is it any eye or is it specifically your eyes?
My eye.
Okay, yeah. See, there's a
And
dis-
it's
there's
getting,
an important
yeah, and
distinction.
it's just because I've been having my eyes poked out at a lot lately because they're bad, and I have to go
Right.
a week today to go get a new contact lens. So it's just sort of like, okay, cool, like this makes me icky and uncomfortable, and I don't like it, and I don't want it in real life in my games because it's happening in real life, sort of thing.
Yeah. That's actually a point
Yeah.
that's something I wrote in the chapter, which is sometimes people don't mind if it happens to someone else, but they mind if it happens to them. You need to
Yes.
make that clear.
We had in the Expanse game, and Nick was running it, my husband,
Mhm.
a player that didn't want dying in space, and we're like, it's the Expanse. And she's like, no, dying in space for me, everybody else can die in space. And we're like, okay, understand.
Okay, yeah. I don't
Okay,
want to be
thank
put out of an
you.
airlock.
Yeah.
You know, like that kind of thing.
Johnny was saying I usually hand out cards that have ratings that's uncomfortable, triggering, etc. Then tell the players up front that the ratings will be on a subject. Yeah, I know people who literally hold up like green, red, and orange flags.
Yeah. The only problem I have with those systems is they're not as the more you need them, the harder they are to use.
Yeah.
You know, that's a big issue I have with them because like people freeze.
Yeah.
You
like
know,
in, like fight, flight, or freeze. Like freeze is a thing, and sometimes you're not gonna be able to address a safety issue until after everything's over.
yeah,
kind of
exactly.
Yeah.
And
Yeah. Jack, am I allowed to eat on your streams?
Mhm.
Thank you, because I have sushi.
You are.
Soy sauce, please. Soup? No, but soy sauce. Thank you. Actually, yeah, I would like soup. Thank you. I got sushi.
So you're getting the miso.
Good soup.
Yes.
Yeah. So I think the only, when I did this application for Nightmares, the only one that like content warning that I did not put out that I'm gonna have to tell my players, because this is cosmic horror essentially and eldritch horror essentially, and it's like I'm gaslighting the fuck out of all of you. Like, I am here to so please be prepared for that.
Yeah.
Because I'm here to mess with your perception, your character's perception of reality. I'm gonna gaslight you.
Yeah.
kind
There's
of
gonna be all
things.
kinds of mind fuck.
Yeah, because you can't have cosmic and eldritch horror without
going
it's
insane.
like horror. Yeah, without going insane. Without having that. I'm gonna fucking gaslight you.
Yeah. Well, one of the things I found very interesting is that of all the insanity systems, one of the ones I always come back to Call of Cthulhu because I found myself going, the gamification of insanity in this game is not perfect, but there's something about it that works. There is something about it that works.
I've actually never played Call of Cthulhu. Yeah.
Yeah, well, you have insanity points, and every once in a while you got to make a saving throw. Otherwise, you get a random psychological thing that happens to you.
Yeah.
And it's not perfect. Anybody who's played it can tell you it's not perfect, but that it has something that no other game has had, which is the ability to get the player to go along with it. And that's really hard to replicate.
Yeah.
No, you're going along with it, and I don't know how, they obviously hit on that by accident. So it's really hard to pick apart and find out what works. But I think part of what does work is that the element of semi-randomness feels less like a punishment. It's not, you didn't do a specific thing and therefore you did bad. It's no, you're dealing with anything in this world that is unusual. And so you're going to start to lose your mind.
I feel like, and I'm going to go back to Blades in the Dark, because again, I love it.
Right.
The trauma system works really well in that one. Because you have the trauma, and it's really up to the players on how that trauma affects that character. And you get to choose, like, I think this is, you know, it's a collaborative thing, right? And that's, like, I love the trauma system, which is why I wish I would fail more, because I would like to play out trauma. Like, sort of thing. But yeah, you know, I know that there's, like, issues with right mechanics just because of the conversation around mental health. Right.
Of course.
But also, again, there are some of us with mental health issues that would like the catharsis of that. Like... Yeah. You know?
Yeah,
so...
well, it's one of the, like, okay, so one of the worst fucking insanity systems I've seen was World of Darkness. It was, because I found myself
Not
going...
surprised.
Yeah, it's terrible. It's so bad most people didn't use it. You know, because all you were doing was taking the player's options away. You know, it wasn't like I suffer from... It's weird to say, like, I think it would have been way better to, instead of just say the Malkavians were insane, to actually describe the way in which they were crazy. Or have them choose. And it can't just be things like, oh, you're manic depressive. Like, no. It has to be way more specific. It has to be like maybe it's like Polka Dot Man. I see my mother everywhere. She tortured me. You know?
Yeah.
You know, or like the TV talks to me.
Schizophrenia if you're seeing people.
Yeah. But like, instead of saying like you have paranoid schizophrenia, it's just saying like the TV talks to you.
Yeah.
You know, inanimate objects talk to you. You think they may be spirits. Only the game master knows for sure.
Yeah, only I know.
Only I know.
Yeah.
You know, and to do it that way and just say this is your delusion.
Yeah.
You know, it may actually even be the truth, but you don't know. That's what makes it insanity. And
I think that's fine because, like, if you give a delusion to challenge people's perception, you're not giving a character a mental disorder or a label of a mental disorder. Like, I think insanity mechanics should always be external.
Yeah. Well, like, one delusion I always kind of wanted, like, here was a delusion I thought a Malkavian could have. There are no such things as vampires. Anything that you see that is a vampire, there is an explanation for. You do not believe in them.
Vampires?
You know, it's like, what happens if a vampire uses a power? Oh, you know, like that was something else. But you're a vampire. You drink people's blood. No, I don't. Just the utter denial of what you're doing.
I actually like that a lot.
You know, like that to me is fun. That to me is fun and challenging. You know, and then you can like write more books and have like other delusions that you came up with. You know, and like you believe that there is an eldritch entity that speaks to you in your dreams. You know, maybe there is. Only the game master knows for sure. You know, so that puts them on this thing where everyone's like, well, they're all crazy. Why do we have them around? And it's like, because sometimes they're right. Because sometimes they're right, bro. What are we going to do then? What do you do then if they're not around?
Fair.
You know? But, yeah, that's just the way I would have done it. You know? I very much like screwing with people's perceptions.
Mm-hmm. Which is technically gaslighting, but
Not if it's real.
that's fair.
You know, not if it's real. You know, I do like tricking people, but I don't like. That's why I like entertainment. You know, like I like tricking people through entertainment, not, you know, deliberately making them think that they're crazy. You know, like that's not fun to me, and that honestly seems like a lot of work. You know, it's a lot of work, and it doesn't reward me emotionally. You know, and I know that's something that separates me from people who would do that, which is, I get nothing out of doing that for real. Like, I don't mind being tricky or being, like, a little sly or challenging your assumption, but I don't like lying to people and trying to convince
In real
them
life, no.
that's
Absolutely
the
not.
truth. That's terrible.
It makes me feel icky.
What was that?
It makes me feel icky.
Yeah. I would feel bad.
Yeah.
You know,
that's called
like,
empathy, bro. You have some.
Yeah, I tried doing. All right, this is dark side old Jack here. There was a period of time where I was in a bad mood. And I was at a convention, and I kind of did the, like, fuck it. What if I just did the pickup artist shit? What if I just did that?
You're gonna just admit that right here on TV?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, what if I just
Yeah.
did that? And so I did. And it worked. And I felt horrible.
Gross.
I was like, this is disgusting. I should have been slapped in the fucking face. Like, this is horrible. I should not be getting I should not be getting them digits. This is awful. You know, because I realized a couple of things. One, on an instinctual level for me, it just feels awful because, like, what am I doing? It's like, great. As long as I devalue the thing that I'm after, I can have it whenever I want. That sounds sick. This is sick. You know, like, that doesn't get me what I really want. And it makes having the thing that you want feel worse. It's terrible. This is terrible. I'm not like this. I'm not doing this again. You know, and the other was, oh God, what are they looking for if this is what works? What are these young ladies looking for if that bullshit worked? I'm taking advantage of somebody in a way I didn't expect. No, because that's not me. She's not. That girl will now never love me because I cannot be me anymore. Because this is not me. This is an act. You know, fuck this. This is terrible. It's one of those things where, like, you think you want something, but sometimes the things that you have to do in order to get the specific thing makes it not worth it. You know, I was like, great, I could destroy all of my relationships with this behavior forever. That sounds sick. Let's not do this. You know, I never forgot that feeling. It was an awful feeling.
I'm glad you learned from that.
Yeah. Well, and it's one of those things where, like, I tell that story specifically because,
There are people who like that feeling.
yeah, there are people who like that feeling,
Yeah.
and there are people who torture themselves feeling that that's the way that they should be, and it is not.
Mm-hmm.
It is not. You know, like it was like a moment of enlightenment, you know, through dark means, but like it was like, oh, I just learned something about myself. You know, I am not this guy because I do not want to be. And so we just won't. We just won't do this again. There are other ways to get the attention that I am seeking that do not fucking make the whole environment awful.
Or take advantage of people.
Or taking advantage. Well, that's part of making the environment awful.
Yeah.
You know?
I say she's really good, bro.
I bet. I'm
Yeah.
jealous.
No. Good
Jealous.
shit.
But yeah.
Dynamite roll, 2 pieces of salmon, 2 pieces of tuna. Good shit.
Yeah.
Gotta
I'll
get that protein in.
yeah. Yeah, I'll admit to that. You know? I said I'm not going to do it again after all, and I haven't.
Yeah. I think it's actually very important for, like, people to openly admit the bad stuff that they have done.
Oh yeah.
I've done bad shit in my life. I voted
Yeah.
for George Bush. Like, very specifically because I was pro-life. Pulling that out. Yeah. I am clearly not pro-life anymore because I know better now. Like, you know, at 18 years old, because I was 18, second round of Bush, by the way. I didn't know better. Like, kind of thing. I think the thing that I had to grow out of that, like, I was clearly hurting people with, I've always had, like, a hard time expressing my emotions with actual words. And I tend to, when someone makes me happy, I try to do something that makes them happy so that this is how I'm going to show you how I'm feeling by doing something that I think is going to make you happy.
Well,
So
that seems normal, actually.
So when I'm fucking mad, or I'm hurt, I do things that will hurt people to the extent that I believe that I'm hurting.
Oh.
And I did that a lot in my youth, and that is still my natural inclination to do, which is something like I have to actively tell myself, don't do that.
Don't do that. Yeah.
Don't do that sort of thing.
Yeah, so you make people upset to upset yourself.
Yeah, like, I'm already upset. I'm trying to communicate with you how upset I am by making you feel like garbage.
Oh, man.
If that makes sense.
Oh, man. Yeah, that's a rough one. That is a rough one.
Don't do that anymore.
Yeah.
Not saying the inclination's not there, but yeah.
Yeah, the main thing, one thing that I learned that was like, Jack, on the light side of things, you know, I'm gonna preach a little happiness and light at you. The ability to admit yourself when you're wrong also comes with the ability to live with that darkness and to some extent conquer it. You know, yeah, like, I remember, I'll always be grateful to Burning Man for one experience that I had.
Oh yeah.
Because I was having a really bad night, just bad, and I was high and having a bad time. Now I tell people I've never had a bad trip, but I have had bad times. You know, I've never, the drugs were never causing me to like go bad. It was always something else, you know. And so there I am, face down in the fucking mud, exhausted. I had literally exhausted myself to the point where I fell over and I just didn't want to move. I'm like, I am too tired. And at that moment, you know how they say, you wander till you can wander no more, and then you meet yourself? Mm-hmm. It happened. That's when it happened.
What were you on?
A lot of ecstasy and a lot of acid. So there I am, face down on the fucking ground. And all of a sudden there's this voice. Well, what you gonna do now? It's like,
a little inner voice.
Yeah, a little inner voice that you're hearing.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you're hearing it. You know, or well, you know, that's not with your ears.
You're on a lot of fucking drugs.
Yeah, like you're on a lot of fucking drugs, and so like you hear it like an intrusive thought, but you realize the thought is not intrusive. It's actually coming from you. And you're hearing it, and you're hearing it talk to you. You know, what you gonna do now? I'm like, I just want to lie here. What's the point of everything? And it's like, yeah, what is the point of everything? Everything sucks, doesn't it? Huh? Doesn't it? Yeah. How does that make you feel? Does it make you feel good? No, it feels awful. Yeah, it's going to feel, and it's going to keep feeling awful. It's going to keep doing that. Yep. You know, so if you could do it all over, would you do it? Would you do it again? And I was like, yes, absolutely. I would absolutely do it again. And then it was like, okay, then get up and make it happen. It's like, okay, inner voice.
Thanks.
Okay, inner voice. And so I got back to the tent. I dug out all my paraphernalia, all my drug paraphernalia. Went to the edge of camp because the sun was going to start coming up. Mm-hmm. Ran into this girl. Didn't have sex with her, although I regret that choice. I actually do. Because what was going through my mind at the time was, do I want this girl, or is she just the girl who's right here?
Yeah.
And the real answer was, why are you worried about that right now? That would have been the real answer. But I wasn't there. I wouldn't get that real answer until much later. You know? And then we just like did nitrous and watched the sun fucking rise. And I was like, there it is. The sun rose again. It wasn't going to be dark and terrible forever. You know? And I'm still sharing some time with a feminine. You know?
A feminine.
Yeah. Because I didn't want to be around dudes. I wanted to be around girls.
Fair.
You know?
Fair. I also prefer to be around women. In general.
Yeah, like I don't mind hanging out with guys, but like
In
if
some of
that's
those
the
moments,
if that's the end of the party, I'm annoyed. You know.
Fair.
You know, I have to have some like interaction with something feminine, otherwise it doesn't. The evening's
It doesn't feel good.
It doesn't feel good. It doesn't have to be sex, but it has to be something.
Yeah.
You know, a decent conversation will work. You know, a decent conversation does it.
Glad I'm around, bro.
Yeah, no problem. No problem.
I've been pretty girl recently, so I feel you.
Ah.
Do you know this Bob Hope guy in chat? Does he called you the worst Satanist ever?
You're gonna have to do it again anyway. Worst Satanist ever. Yeah, well, for showing you the light. Well, you got to remember, Lucifer is the morning star.
The morning star. Yes.
So it's gonna happen occasionally. You know, occasionally there's going to be some happiness and light. Yeah, you're gonna have to do it again anyway. Yeah, you gotta keep on living. What you gotta do? Give up? You know, forever? I think that's the important bit. It's like it's okay to give up for a little bit.
Yes.
You know, it's okay to give up for a little bit. You know, but not forever.
Things. Yeah, it's okay. It's also okay to quit things forever when you realize that this is not the thing I want to do.
Yes.
Or need to do, or it's good for me. Like.
Exactly. Hey, Martin Bolka. Yeah. We stream regularly starting at about 7 p.m. most weekdays. You know, 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, that is. And I'm glad you remember me from the current Jackula show. I should find a femboy. See, that would fit the bill. See, that would more often than that would as often as not fit the bill. You know, I'm terrible. I'm bad at sucking cock. I'm terrible at sucking cock. I'm just not good at sucking dick. You know, I'm just not.
But you don't have to suck the femboy's dick. The femboy can suck yours.
Oh yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Like that we can do. And if you're talking about but what if I can also get in the back door? That's fine. You know?
It's fine. Yeah. It's all the same.
Yeah.
So I didn't realize you were part of the Alphabet Mafia, Jack. I didn't know that.
Oh well, I think it's because I come off. I generally come off as very masculine.
Fair.
And so most people don't notice that. Don't notice that until it comes up.
Yeah. So you're like, I'm bad at sucking dick, but I'll let someone.
I'll let some do it. Yeah. What's my problem with sucking dick? I don't know. I'm just bad at it. That's that's what
I'm not. I'm not.
No. You know.
Yeah.
But like, you know, give me, you know,
my husband has no complaints, amongst others.
Yeah, pretty enough boy, and I'll go for it. You know.
Fair. Yeah.
You know.
Who wouldn't?
Quentin?
I told Nick, like, hey Kat, for speaking of drugs and femboys. That, you know, if I was ever terminally ill and in hospice, like, I want to go out doing all of the drugs and doing body shots off of Twinks.
There you go. There you go.
That's like.
I recommend doing some of the drugs before you get to that point, though. Because
no, 100. I'm gonna do the drugs. I'm gonna do the fat, and then take the body shots off the Twinks.
Right. I'm saying. All I'm saying is you can get those and not have to be terminally ill, you know.
That's some of them. So because I do have some mental health problems. Like some drugs I avoid.
Like what?
I don't touch LSD.
Really? Okay.
No, I'm not gonna touch fat or heroin.
Fentanyl.
I'm not gonna touch
basically
opiates.
speed.
I'm not gonna touch meth. So like my drug experience is very limited. I am a marijuana user.
Right.
That's my medication. I've done Molly against my will.
Not a good time.
No, it was a great time.
Okay.
Until it wasn't.
Yeah. I know what you mean.
I tell you, listen, it was a girl. It was her 21st birthday, and she's a Greek mafia princess, and we had the run of New Orleans. So.
Oh. So at some point it was there.
Yeah. At some point it was there. I don't know how it happened, but it happened. I'm like 23 years old, right? And I was like, what this is not booze. Like, what's going on?
Gotcha.
Yeah, kind of thing. But it also, like, I also knew that I wasn't, I didn't get, like, roofied. Like, because I was very aware. Like, everything.
Ecstasy does not. Ecstasy and GHB do not act like roofies at all.
Yeah, no, it was Molly. Especially since I knew that the come down like was so bad. Um,
Oh,
my cat,
you
yeah,
had a bad
the
come
come down
down.
was yeah, it was really bad.
Ooh.
Um, I didn't go to sleep.
Yeah, that can
Hold on a
happen.
second.
That can
Yeah, hold
happen.
on a second.
No problem.
1 second.
Yeah. Yeah, I've seen The Sadness. It's a great movie.
I left a half full coffee mug, and then it got spilled by the cat,
Oh,
and now my
do you,
husband is
do you need
cleaning
to
it up.
deal with that for a minute?
No, he's dealing with it.
Oh, okay. All right.
He's dealing with it.
Okay.
Um,
Yeah,
so yeah,
well, I've noticed. I've.
I want to do peyote. Like,
I'd be into
I
that.
will.
I'd
Yeah,
be
I
into
would
that.
like to. I wanted to like. That's kind of like my bucket list to do.
DMT is actually a drug I'm very interested in that I haven't done.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I could. It's just a little pricey. It's like $60 a
fair.
dose, you know,
Gotcha.
and I'm told it only lasts about 45 minutes to an hour, but also that the time dilation is enormous, so you don't feel like you got gypped, you know. So I'll probably do that. Yeah, I'll probably do that before the year's over, you know, because I
Let me know how
want
it
to
goes.
I want to see what the spirits say, you know.
Oh, what the spirits say.
Yeah. Apparently, you
What
get like spirit hallucinations a lot, and I'm like,
Gotcha.
oh, let's check that out, you know. Any other recommendations from mainland China or Taiwan? Oh, Recycle. Recycle is good. Tagalong is also good. Tagalong is Taiwanese. Recycle is Chinese. Actually, Taiwan produces a lot of horror movies. Most Chinese horror movies are actually produced in Taiwan. Incantation's another great one. That one's amazing. That one is amazing. So I recommend all of them. You've already seen The Sadness, so I recommend Tagalong, I recommend Recycle, and I recommend Incantation. There are 3 Tagalong movies. Start with the first, work your way up. You know, because it's a story that unfolds over multiple movies. You know, which I recommend highly.
I
Okay.
need to take the fucking gummy right now. Like it's about gummy o'clock for me here.
Okay. Do you need to go, or do you just need to take the gummy?
I am winding down pretty soon. Like we've been at this for 2.5 hours, so
Right.
I should probably wind down pretty soon. Yeah.
Okay.
My brain is starting to mush out.
Okay. Well, do you want to cut it here? Or do you want to go on for longer?
Decision paralysis.
I know that look. That is, I want to do both.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jack, make the decision for me.
All right. Why don't you hang out for another like 15 minutes? I'll get myself a shot of gin.
And I'll get my gummy.
What you need to do, if you need to do it, I'll be right back. We'll continue for a little bit.
Sam, no. I have to hold everything down, guys. Hi. How are you? How's it going? When he gets back, I'll take my gummy. I'm also out of Dr. Pepper, which makes me sad. I have another one, but it's too late to drink them. Good night, Riggs. Have a good one. Just catching up on chat. Every time I lean like this, by the way, everyone, that's me trying to read chat on my other monitor because I do have um terrible vision and I don't have my contact lenses in because they don't fit. I'm getting new ones on Thursday. Um, but yeah, I have a hard lens that for my left eye, which is my bad one, that is not fitting properly. But yeah. Also, next time people will see me on the internet, I should have this taken care of. You see my roots coming through. Yeah. I'm gonna have green hair. I'm changing colors. Yeah. Which is interesting because I had red all spring and fall, and now I'm gonna, or spring and summer, and I'm gonna go into green for fall and winter. What is it? My son. You knocked over the coffee? He's just lying there like he didn't do anything wrong. Nobody's talking to me. Excuse me, don't eat something. Oh, that's your fish. It's fine. You never know when, like, a cat is gonna eat something they're not supposed to. I don't. I feel really awkward. Hi, gang. I'm gonna check my phone notifications because, you know. What else am I gonna do?
Hey.
Hi, thanks. I was getting really anxious because nobody was saying anything in chat and talking to me, and I was like, "Oh my god, I'm so bad at this."
Oh. It's. Don't worry, I have the same fucking. I got the same shit. I got the same
I say
thing.
that I have my own channel that I'm always yapping on. I'm always yapping. Bruh, I'm French. We don't fucking. I don't stop talking. I don't know if you noticed. Like, just.
Well, it helps make you a good guest.
True. Thanks. Appreciate it. Thanks for having me.
You know, there you go. You know? Man. Yeah. It's interesting that, like, okay, so you've done LSD and it wasn't a good time, I'm guessing.
Yeah.
Oh, man. What, if you don't mind me asking, what was it?
It was just too overstimulating.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was just too overstimulating.
Okay. You couldn't get your bearings.
Yeah. Yeah, it was too overstimulating. Which also Molly was incredibly overstimulating too.
Yeah, but like, it also
that was also mixed with a lot of alcohol.
And it's
yeah.
Molly is also mood altering.
Yeah.
So it's a lot easier to find a groove with Molly, even though it's overstimulating, because the drug is also calming you down.
Yeah. And I mean, like, I'm already pro Bourbon Street, so I don't like listen.
Right, and you were in a good environment, you know.
I was and I was with people and I was safe. I should not have been, but I was. Well, actually, no, I was safe because I was hanging out with a mafia princess. like,
oh my god,
of course I was safe. Like,
I remember this. That there's been more than one time when I was tripping, walking through the city, and I I would be like, I'm just gonna be a werewolf.
I'm just gonna be a werewolf.
I'm just gonna be a werewolf now.
I'm just gonna be a weird guy.
Yeah, just gonna be that weird. Yeah. And that's when I started realizing, oh, there's a difference between me right now and a crazy person.
Yeah, because you make an actual decision to do this.
Yeah, I'm actually making an actual decision, and they are trapped in whatever is going on. You
Yeah,
know,
and they're not. Yeah.
yeah, I can surf this wave easy.
Mhm.
You know,
Like I could stop this. I'm
yeah,
just
yeah.
choosing not
I,
to
I'm
because
just,
you
yeah,
feel
I'm
like
choosing to
it
go
feels
along with
wonderful.
it. You know,
Yeah. Right.
I,
Excuse me.
then again, that might be the ADD thing.
That could be.
Because apparently I didn't know this. Doctor had told me this, which is like people who are ADD, particularly ADHD,
Mhm.
are resistant to stimulants.
Yes. Yes.
I didn't know that.
And in fact, I know a lot of people with ADHD who do things like meth and drugs because it actually meth and coke because it actually
Lets you focus.
does the opposite effect.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um and now the studies are coming out. You know what actually does help ADHD?
What?
Nicotine.
Not surprised.
Yeah.
Not surprised at
Yep.
all.
Yep. Nicotine has helps focus. And the Nick which like yeah, because Nick, as much he uses coffee to help kind of wake him up in the morning, and I think it's more of a ritualistic thing. Same thing with me, right?
Yeah.
More of a ritualistic thing. But for him, he needs to vape. Like he needs his nicotine. Like I'm glad he stopped smoking. Um, he worked in a kitchen all of his life, his
Right,
adult life.
right.
Smoking, like I don't think he's smoked in about 5 years.
Oh,
So
not a cigarette?
yeah, nope. And he did cigarellas. He was a black and mild kind of guy.
Yeah, yeah,
Uh,
yeah. I was always a Marlboro man.
Gotcha. But yeah, no. So he stopped
Yeah.
during the
I
pandemic. One,
I have to say this.
just to save money.
Oh yeah, like this. This
Yeah,
makes it way easier to not do this.
yeah. And marijuana is cheaper than cigarettes.
It is.
It's cheaper than alcohol.
Yep.
Like that's my only thing is marijuana and coffee. Like
Yeah.
um.
Oh yeah,
That's
Martin.
those,
Definitely check out the tag along movies. They're real good.
Yeah.
You know, I have a.
What?
I'm talking about the like occult culture of your peoples.
My Creoles?
Yeah, your
My
Creoles.
Cajun?
But I haven't talked about the Taiwanese. 'Cause Taiwanese is very interesting.
Are you Taiwanese or are you Han Chinese?
Technically, I'm technically Chinese.
Okay.
But my family lives in Taiwan, or my father lives in Taiwan.
Mhm.
And so most of my experience of my own Asian heritage comes from Taiwan. And
Gotcha.
Taiwan is they're very animistic,
Yes.
very animistic people.
Mhm.
And the divide for them, the division that we normally see between spiritual matters and everyday life,
Mhm.
it's not existent. It doesn't exist.
Okay.
It doesn't exist for the Taiwanese. They are of the opinion that the gods inhabit and walk with you.
Gotcha.
Same thing with spirits.
Mhm.
Spirits are, they're everywhere. Even like, so much so that one of the biggest, like, areas of Taipei is the Grand Temple.
Mhm.
It's a huge temple dedicated to multiple gods.
Mhm.
It's dedicated to multiple gods, and it's right there, and it's just open to the public, except like when it gets real late. Like
Mhm.
when the night market closes, it's time to close the temple, just so you can
Yeah.
like clean things and all
Yeah,
that
yeah, yeah.
and all that
Yeah.
shit. Uh, but like the intro version of it, of Taiwan spiritualism, is the movie Spirited Away by Miyazaki, because that was inspired by his trip to Taiwan and how the Taiwanese did worship, and if you're like, but wait,
I didn't know that.
Yeah,
I did not know that.
Yeah, and one of the things that's fucking funny is why it comes down to a Chinese element. So, you're Chinese. Why do you worship anything? For good fortune.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes that fortune is luck. Sometimes it's literally money. That's why you worship. Because if the god doesn't give you good luck, doesn't give you good fortune, what good are they? Why ask them for anything? Useless. So, you have this island, filled with people who wash gods so that the gods will give them money. That's the Taiwanese. That's Taiwan. And I'm like, no, nailed it. Absolutely fucking nailed it, at least on that level. There's also Taiwanese shamanism. That's a little different.
Yeah.
Like, that's a little different. That is more, that has more to do, more in common with some of the First Nation worship. It's about animal spirits.
That's what,
and becoming possessed.
By animal spirits.
By the animal spirit. By the great animal spirit.
So very like totem-like almost.
Very totem-like.
Yeah.
Except the totems are big, Asian, and have temples dedicated to them. And they tend to be familial. They tend to it tends to go along family lines. Mm-hmm. Like there's a family which is said to be in touch with the great tiger spirit and all that jazz.
Yeah.
It's really, really cool. And
I like that.
Taiwan is not afraid of new gods.
Of new gods?
Of new gods. Yeah.
Nice.
Because time will tell.
Yeah.
Is the god worth anything? Well, time will tell. And there is a method. Like, if you establish, if you have a temple, you can get a license.
This is just my body. I'm sorry, I'm actually very invested.
You can get a license to be a beggar for a temple.
Okay.
So this gives you the ability to beg on the street.
Oh.
Yeah. The city licenses, the country licenses you to do this because you are supposed to be saying prayers, to save everyone's soul.
Yeah.
So you do that. You sit on the corner and you pray and you pray and you pray and you pray. And you have a little bowl out. People put money in, so that you keep doing that. Pray for everybody. It's kind of neat. It's really neat. And the other thing that I love, this is something that Taiwan shares with Thailand.
Okay.
Which is, walk in any direction, you will eventually find at least a small altar to something.
Mm-hmm.
Between two office buildings, there could be a little shrine.
A little shrine?
A little shrine to a local god. And you do not want to move it.
No.
Because there is a whole ceremony and ritual that must be done if you are to move a temple. And you have to do it 3 times. And if the soothsayer who performs the ritual says that the god says no, even once out of those 3 times, then the city's not allowed to remove the temple.
Touch it.
Not allowed to touch
That's
it.
interesting.
So you gotta bribe that guy real well if you want your land development deal to go through. You know?
What's your, I'm gonna ask this because of who I
Sure.
am. What's the fox lore like in Taiwan?
Well, there aren't a
Yeah.
lot of foxes in Taiwan,
Okay.
but there is fox lore
Yeah,
that is inherited from China.
from the Chinese.
And foxes are auspicious. You know, they are good. They bring good fortune, but they're tricky.
Tricky good fortune.
They're tricky, but
Right,
but
yeah.
they bring good fortune. You know, much like cats.
Yeah.
You know, but cats are a little bit more domestic. You know.
Yeah, they designed themselves that way.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly, Martin. Bribe your gods well. You know. You know, there's a whole fucking racket surrounding the temples and the offerings because right across the street from the temple are all of these merchants selling you offerings to leave at the temple. You know? So it's this bizarre combination of both open spirituality and open commerce. You know, and that
Capitalize your spirituality. Spiritual capitalism.
Spiritual capitalism. It's
That's
it's
something we also have in
crazy.
common as Catholics.
Yeah, but
I know.
Catholics are not as honest about it. Like the Taiwanese are
that's true.
amazingly
That
open
is
and
true,
honest
yeah.
about it.
That is true.
You know, that's one of the things that makes it so interesting. You know, because it's just accepted. It's just accepted. Yeah, like that's
This
what
is
happens.
part of life. Yeah.
Yeah, it's part of life.
That's
You
interesting.
know, buy a big basket of fruit to leave at the temple so the fucking monks can eat it later when you're not looking. You know, come on. You know, that's called synergy.
One of my old roommates was Taiwanese,
Hmm.
and So during the New Year, always had oranges. Like, so and they didn't get eaten. Like,
Well, that's because there weren't a bunch of monks
Yeah.
and nuns who, like,
Mhm. Yeah.
swept the temple.
My former best friend, her husband his family is from Taiwan.
Oh,
Yep. They're first generation immigrants, and they also voted for Trump.
God damn it.
I know.
The thing about the whole Trump thing
yeah.
that like freaks me out more than anything, is just the how did people fall for it? It's such a shitty trick.
With this particular, so like from what I was talking about with that particular friend, which was not a very good conversation because I ended the friendship that I had since I was 5 years old.
Right.
So with her, there was a lot of immigration fear, particularly.
So they voted for Trump?
Yeah, because they didn't want illegal immigrants, bro.
Oh, that kind of legal fear.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Like, just, I think, they fell for that one story of that one girl in Georgia that had gotten killed by someone and really just kind of ran with that. And then, despite the fact the numbers show that undocumented people and immigrants in the U.S. commit less crimes or violent crimes than the actual citizens.
Yeah, it's because the gangsters and the smugglers and the killers will just find other ways in anyway.
Yeah.
They're already not using normal means.
And then there was some issues, there was some vaccine issues. He's an oncologist. It was a whole bunch of things that just didn't feel like, I don't know, like they also live in Louisiana, but it's just sort of like, it was very, very strange. My whole thing is with the immigration thing is, I don't know if people realize this, but being an undocumented person in the U.S. is not a crime.
It's not fun.
It's not a crime.
Correct.
It's a civil offense. It's not a crime. Her, however, She did on her honeymoon. She didn't realize she was committing a felony. Um, brought her medical marijuana to go to Australia and brought it back.
Yeah, you're not
She
supposed
did
to take
not
that
get
about.
caught.
You're not supposed to take that across state lines.
She did not get caught, but she didn't realize it's like, girl, that's drug trafficking. That is
Yeah.
a felony. Like on both of those countries, like you were lucky. So it kind of got to me. It's like you're literally like voting to dehumanize people who are not committing crimes when you have definitely accidentally committed a crime.
Yeah.
Kind
Yeah,
of thing,
I've,
right?
I've, I have no problem with immigration. Like, if America decided it was just going to be open borders, good.
Good.
That'd be a good thing. That would,
Yeah.
solve
Yeah.
solve that whole birth problem.
That is how we solve the birth problem.
Yeah, it is. It is.
It is, because clearly overturning Roe v. Wade did the opposite. like did the opposite.
Yeah.
Also, less teenage pregnancies
Yes.
have
Yes.
happened as well. Like those numbers also went down, which is also incredible. But it's like, yeah, no, did the opposite. Now they're just for being. Like women are just for being men in the States.
Yeah.
It's that simple. Like they're not like like having sex with them. Like, it's that simple.
Yeah. Oh my God, it's
So-
so hard to be pro-Trump and in the dating scene. Yeah, I bet.
Yeah, I bet.
When
What do
you're
you
against
expect?
someone's rights, they don't tend to like you.
Yeah, no, they don't. That was the thing with that relationship that ended, is that like, girl, you're in an interracial relationship with the first, like, what are you doing?
What are you doing?
Like,
Well, yeah, it's very weird. I find
yeah,
that people who voted for Trump, they're either complete assholes,
yeah,
just complete shit fucks, or they latched on to some idea that made me go, what?
like people fall for propaganda all the time. Smart people fall for propaganda.
Yeah.
All the time. I fall for propaganda all the time. There's no, like, I can't say that I don't, right? I feel like, especially after leaving Catholicism about, I guess we're in 9 years now, I've had to develop like epistemology skills of, anytime I believe in something, I have to ask myself why.
Yeah.
It's like, and if that answer is just like, I'm just biased for this, it's like, okay, then like, why is that bias? Like, I dig.
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
my autism. I'm gonna figure out fucking why.
Yeah, for me, I've
like, yeah.
been in a lot of countries, and the country that treats immigrants the worst is America. That, at least of the ones that I've been in. So I'm like, well,
Yeah.
we're already assholes about it.
Yeah.
What? Being more of an asshole about it is not going to create a different result.
Yeah.
Because people are already
It's
coming
not.
despite the sucky fucking attitude.
Yep.
So it's not gonna stop just because you made it worse. You're just gonna make people suffer. You're just making people suffer more. That's it.
Oh my God, I never forgot about, because I'm an immigrant to Canada.
Right.
And I was on social media, on Facebook specifically, kind of sharing like just the journey of immigration, like how it works, that kind of stuff. And I just had somebody from like my past, like, this person's not on my friendly list anymore. He goes, "Thanks for doing it the right way." And I'm like, what the fuck does that mean?
Fuck you.
Fuck you.
Yeah.
Like, first of all, you're American. I'm not even immigrating to like, I'm already a citizen of that country. Like, I immigrated to Canada, and the thing is, it's just like, fuck you, dude. Like,
Yeah,
like
the
seriously,
right
it's
way. No,
so
the
like, why are
right.
you thanking me for that?
Yeah, like
Uh,
that's a compliment.
yeah, those like, it's like, I think I remember, this was a decade ago. I remember responding, it's like, yeah, I'm really lucky I had the privilege to do that. Because that's what it was. Like, I had the privilege to be able to do that.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
I was able to afford it. Like, I spent all my money on it. And when I had, there was, but also because Canada has in their family visa, you don't have to be married or engaged to somebody to be on the family visa. You could just be common law or a conjugal partner, which is
right,
what I did. And that was specifically put there so that queer people could immigrate from places that were
right, exactly.
like, which, surprise, was when you help the least fortunate of our society, the most oppressed, it benefits us all. Like,
Yeah,
jeez. But yeah, and it was so fucking weird. Like, it was like, why are you thanking me? I'm not even.
yeah, that is weird.
Yeah. I even
That is
deleted
very
him from Pokemon Go because I was like, no thanks. Like, I actually deleted a couple people from Pokemon Go this past election year because my whole thing was just like, because you send gifts to people.
Yeah.
So, but that's like, oh, you can actually Google Lens this bullshit and figure out where I physically go. I don't want someone who has voted against my rights to know that.
Yeah.
Like, and
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
like anyone who knows me, like, I'm open about being queer. I'm open about being pro-choice. I'm open about being an atheist. Like, I'm open about not being racist.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not hiding. Like, I'm out on all of these things. I'm not hiding, which, puts a target on my back.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Like, sort of thing. So it's like, okay, yeah, no, we're not doing this, people.
Yeah.
You're not knowing where I physically spend some of my time because, with these things, it's what's physically local to me.
Yeah. Well, like,
where I travel.
I don't
Yeah.
I don't understand. I no longer understand what the right way to immigrate is because I'm pretty sure you just show up.
Right?
You know?
It's like, I really honestly don't need, like, the descendants of colonizers to tell me, like, how to immigrate. Like, especially a country that I was already indigenous to. I don't, like...
Yeah, exactly.
Like, what do you mean? Like...
Yeah, it's very strange. Sorry that happened. Sorry that you lost some friends there.
You don't need to apologize. It was just fucking weird. I was just like, don't put me on a pedestal.
Yeah.
Like,
it's very strange.
Don't use me as, like, your reasoning to be fucking xenophobic and racist. Like,
Yeah.
don't use me as that reason, brother. I don't want that.
Yeah. That seems bad.
Yeah. Don't you? Yeah.
Yeah, I lost a few friends to that too.
Yeah.
Because it's just like, dude, can we not? Like, can we not?
Yeah.
Like, there's so much. We've added
Human
so
rights
much to each other's lives. Can we not do this?
Yeah. The thing is that we're at a stage in the atmosphere that, like, human rights are not negotiable right now.
Correct.
They're never negotiable, but they're really not negotiable. Like, and I'm at a stage in my life where it's just sort of like, I can't put my energy into educating someone about this that should know better. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So
I still have a little bit of energy for that, but like
it's very limited, and it's for my parents.
Yeah.
I
could
for
see
like
that.
and my sibling, because I have a niece, right? So That's and I would like to have my land. Like,
Yeah. For me, it's just about
yeah.
like human dignity, because I find myself and just common sense, because I'm always going, what are immigrants taking from you really?
Yeah.
You know, like that's a real question, and it's never satisfactorily answered. So it's like, okay, so it's just xenophobia.
It's just,
You know,
it's just, yeah.
that's just all it is. And anyway, fuck Trump.
I have to say, fuck Trump. My one last comment was this, because, you know, me and this particular friend, I was like, how did we fucking both grow up reading Animorphs and end up on two completely different sides of things?
Some
Like,
people are complicated. People are complicated. Who knows?
Yeah,
I mean,
I
they
know.
say it was the immigration thing, but who knows what history
Yeah,
of fucking is going, of things going through their head that actually represents.
there was also like a mistrust in like the medical community because of this was kind of like the triggering point for him, her husband.
Right.
Because he's an oncologist, so medical.
Right. Right.
So from what I understand, when the ivermectin thing was, people were taking ivermectin for the COVID or whatever.
Yeah.
The company that did the initial research to say that it wasn't okay used AI instead of actual peer-reviewed sources to publish. And then the two medical journals published them anyway without checking the sources of the company that did the research.
Okay.
And because of that, he's like, well, I can't trust the most prominent medical journals in the country anymore.
Yeah, but it doesn't take a brain. It doesn't take like rocket science to go, maybe horse medicine is not the best route.
Not the best. Yeah, maybe an anti-parasitic for a virus is not the best.
It's not good. You know,
Yeah.
it wouldn't do anything.
It's also just the whole idea of like how people just central. You know, I see this looking in now. How people in America just centralize the American medical field when it comes to scientific research. Like the rest of us don't exist.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? It's like,
Well, and all the best breakthroughs came by through a multi-country effort.
yeah.
You know.
And Dolly Parton.
And Dolly Parton, yes.
And Dolly Parton, yeah. Dolly Parton paid for the Moderna vaccine. We love Dolly.
And that was, well, the thing that was, I found myself confused by the things that people put trust in. You know?
And not like a 20-year-old technology that we've been using for virus vaccines. Like mRNAs were not new. They were even used for other types of COVID vaccines. They were the ones like other SARS vaccines, other flu vaccines, the rabies vaccine, Zika. They were all mRNA. So it's just like, why are you like? It's the anti-science movement is like terrifies me.
Yeah.
And the anti-intellectual movement also like just terrifies me, right?
Yeah.
And honestly, for me, one of the most unattractive things about another human being is to not be curious and to just not like to be stuck in your own ways.
Oh, but they'll
and
say
just
they
believe
are
things.
curious.
Yeah.
They'll say they're doing their own research.
Yeah. You know, and it's like, man.
Yeah, kind of.
So yeah, we got into vaccines and Trump. So. Vaccinate, bitches. Which, by the way, my dad's been giving his dog ivermectin for heartworms, and she's better now because that's what it's.
Yeah, because that's what that's for.
If I had a parasite, then maybe I would take ivermectin, but I don't.
Yeah, like, sure.
You know, by the recommendation of my doctor.
Yeah.
Like,
but I mean, like, that was it. You know, that was the big question, and it was like, wow.
But here was also the thing, like, But were they wrong? Like, sure, they use the AI sources, and I understand the problem with that. I understand. But at the same time, those weren't the only people researching this.
Right, exactly.
Like, so, and also, were they wrong about ivermectin? They weren't. So, like, yeah, should have they done their due diligence and like not publish it and be like, hey, actually, and because of that, like, there was like a thing against Democrats. And so now, like, anything that was being published
Yeah.
out of those papers, like, they just didn't trust, period. And when it came to like trans issues, the people that she was trusting was Blair White and Buck Angel on the internet. And I was like,
Oh, the Buck Angel thing makes me very sad.
it does. The Buck Angel also.
Buck Angel makes me very sad. Blair White just pisses me off.
Well, she's a pick-me.
Oh, she totally is.
She's a pick-me.
Totally is.
But like, and the thing is, it's like, and the thing that kind of got me most, like, a little like pissed off, it's like, girl, I'm your non-binary bestie. You could just ask me questions. You could just call me and ask. I'll have a conversation about it.
Yeah.
I actually, my friend Ben actually has beef with Buck Angel on Twitter. It's hilarious. Because Ben is a medical doctor. He's a trans man and a medical doctor, right?
Right.
Which, by the way, just lost his job because he was also Army. He was an Army medic.
Oh.
Yeah. Fucking sucks, bro.
Wow,
And then, you know, like, that's okay, cool, because, you know, the Army doesn't need fucking doctors.
Right. Well.
Yep.
Hey. Hold on. Let me get this cat.
I see.
What he
He's
wants.
pessing.
He's
outside.
pessing. He wants outside. You look at that cat. Yeah. There he goes. Bastard. Meowing all the time. Meowing in my face.
Oh, he's bowing.
Oh.
Mine is in the closet right now.
Yours in the closet right now?
Oh,
Oh, man.
yeah.
Well, I'm thinking we're starting to wind. We're winding down.
We're feeling a little.
bit.
We're feeling a little. I did not take my marijuana yet, so
Oh.
yeah, I didn't get up when you got up because I was like, oh my god, someone has to stay on camera.
So just I want to thank you again for coming over. I want to thank everyone in the chat for coming and watching us, for participating. Avi Satanas, Disco Inferno, Satan, and I love you all very much, and we will see you again. We will see you again, possibly tomorrow around 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And tell a friend that they should come to the stream, because we would love to see them.
Tell a friend. I forgot to tell my friends.
Yeah.
I forgot to tell my friends.